Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode number 42, a month late, but we will be a double-stepped show, and hopefully nothing will go wrong. Fingers and toes crossed. My name is Nanashi. I'll be your host for the evening, and I apologize in advance for whatever this show's going to be. Joining me tonight is a menagerie of gaggle fucks and card floppers. We have the Yugi memer himself, Connor Lockhart.
Fun fact, from the previous podcast to this one, I'm practically almost done with all 10 seasons of Hawaii Five-O's remake.
Wow.
Nice.
We have our fellow furry YouTuber, Mr. Orichalcos.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep all Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy jokes to yourselves.
We have the wild child himself, it's Lone.
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, you are. And somebody's reading through the trash.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine, just mute yourself next time. Dumpster diving is a hobby.
I'm picking out some sweets.
Ah.
Neat.
He has fallen and risen more times than I care to count. It's Phoenix Reborn.
Now with 20% more dragons.
We have our silent partner in the background making everything work right. It's Rom. There we are. He is the thing that goes bump in the night. It's Raven.
Yes, and I'm still rocking the Duel Academy drip. Though I did end up losing to Ojama Lime, sadly.
What can you do?
Depressing.
Oh, you poor thing. What did Ojama Lime run?
Oh no, Mystic Mind Runic.
Oh
No.
Nah, man.
You hurt my...
Honestly,
That's-
base.
Nightmare.
That's why you should have ran Spelljammer. Sidecar.
Funny thing is, I actually have a spell jammer in my book.
I use Transmodify on Cyberdragon to bring out Spelljammer.
If
It's
only
spell
it worked that
canceling.
way.
or Spell Canceller.
Canceller versus Mystic Mind, who wins?
Oh boy. Let's not go into that. Oh, we gave Ron PTSD. Let's continue on a high note then. He's everybody's worst nightmare by name. It's Tim Brick.
And Konami decided to break on us on revealing cards. My god, they literally have 3 weeks to reveal more shit.
Let's hope they get them all done in time.
Yeah.
Did you pray to RN Jesus?
I'm on my own copium for what that's shit they support.
Nah.
And he's here in all of his electro cheese wedge glory. It's Zivuth.
I can now exceed someone using Link monsters. That shows us once more that protogates are superior to humans.
Oh, up yours.
You're not a human.
Super toaster.
No,
Super
we are-
Toaster that can link summon itself IRL.
No, we are. I think we're gonna burn one day. We need
Okay.
to exceed summon as God intended.
Right. Okay, so I feel like I got a little bit of explaining to do. See, there was not a podcast last month, and to make a long story short, my job kind of interfered with my free time. See, one of my coworkers was having difficulties keeping his house. He had to go through a court process to keep it. It's a long story, and I don't even know how much I'm allowed to share, but the short end of it is he wasn't able to cover his shifts, so I had to come in and basically do split shift coverage with another coworker of mine. Fantastic overtime on that period, but I lost the ability to do the podcast, so...
A soul for a soul.
But on the upside, it did help me start up a new thing that I've been doing on my own time. I've mentioned the mobile game Ingress in the past a few times, and because of this mobile game and all that overtime I had to get, I've actually started losing weight. I'm down a clothing size as of 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and all I've done is just walk a lot and drink more water.
Nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I've had the opposite happen to me because I had like the train right next to me because we've had like a major washouts for like a whole month. I've had to stand because I had like this baby walking thing that I had. Ended up in the rain for a good half hour. You can imagine
that.
You can imagine how fun that was.
I can only imagine. We actually had a small tornado touchdown in the next town over from where I live just 2 days ago.
Oof.
Yeah, and we
Everything
also
so
had that earthquake today earlier in some of the states, like 4.8 in magnitude.
4.7.
Luckily for me, the tornado was a category 0, I think they were calling it, where it was not properly formed, but it did physically touch down and basically dig up a lot of crap. The wind was strong enough to knock off some siding, but for the most part, everyone and everything seems to be okay, barring the people who were right there in the middle of the zone and are without power. Obviously, my heart goes out to them, and I hope they get their power back soon, but considering what we did, it didn't do very much.
Yeah, that's good.
Could
At
have
least.
been a lot
Yeah,
worse.
we had also a tornado in Germany last night.
Oh, really? You alright, man?
Yeah, in South Bayern, so far away from me. But even if it was just a short-living tornado, it did a lot damage in the town where it came down.
Oh dear.
Well, I'm glad to hear you made it out okay.
As I said, I live far away from that. So,
I know,
yeah.
but still, you can still get I've seen wind go across state lines from a tornado sometimes. It's never a bad idea to show concern for people who are even remotely close to it.
Well, it was a bit windy over the entire day today.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
It's been pretty windy over here as well.
Yeah, I know.
But at the weekend, we get to
Alongside the
30
rain.
degrees Celsius in the first week of April.
God, everyone's had some bad news in April, and I'm just here getting ready for something that's like actually good news. The hell?
Actually, I was going to say that yesterday I helped my mother with an event called Independence Day, a charity event that's all about celebrating independence with those with special needs.
Ah,
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I would have loved that.
nice.
Yeah,
Someone with special
it was
needs
all the
myself.
way in Sunderland, though.
Even still, I would have loved that.
Going back a moment, though, during the pre-show, I was complaining about something happening on a game I play involving a guy named Rusty Shackleford. It's actually in Ingress.
Oh, dear.
Rusty Shackleford. Yeah, I put that into like YouTube because I thought that was like maybe some YouTuber or something that was trolling you, and all I got was fucking Dale Gribble moments.
Yeah, Rusty Shackleford is the name of a person that Dale Gribble grew up with in school that he thought died, so he stole their identity for the entirety of a good 30, 40 years from that moment forward, and then he eventually ran into the guy and signed documentation saying he would never use his name again. And apparently somebody in my area gets that joke, chose that for their username in this game, and is on the opposing team. And whenever I'm out of the town that I work in, he comes through and starts hitting everything I've established. Ingress is one of those games where you gotta build up locations by going from place to place. It uses the same general layout as Pokemon Go, but instead of capturing random creatures and going to locations to get supplies, you capture locations to get supplies. So he goes to locations and breaks them using random weapons that we have in the game, and I see his name pop up no less than 3 times a day now.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
report it?
A true pocket sand moment.
Yes, yes, it is. If I ever meet the guy, I'm just gonna hand him a baggie of sand and tell him to put it in his pocket and see if he understands the joke.
Yes.
Pocket sand.
Yes.
God, it's even sadder when you think about it because Dale's VA died like a year or 2 ago.
Oh yeah, right.
The Hokage of the Sand Village, Dale Gribble, died.
Yeah.
That-
Here's the thing. I will also acknowledge this. We have a small problem with that. See, the voice for Hank Hill and Boomhauer are the same person, which means that if he passes away, the only one who's left is fucking Bill.
That's
God.
sad.
I don't wish death on anyone, but if one of them was to pass away, I hope it's Bill first. Bill gets on my goddamn nerves.
Yeah, I'm like.
I mean, I don't
you
watch
wanna-
King of the Hill.
You want to
so-
have a show with Bill, or you want to have a show with
Hank and Boomhauer.
Boom? Trying to figure out half the shit Boomhauer says is.
Subtitles don't even work. That man speaks so fast and so quick.
I
That
know.
sadly never made it to Germany.
I know Japan has a Japanese version of the show, and they have constant arguments about dub or sub because there's Westeros, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But
well,
but you have to wonder whose voice do they like best for Boonhauer, dub or sub?
Oh, that's a good question, actually, because when it comes down to it, neither side's going to be able to understand him. He talks way too fast. You might as well get that Micro Machines guy from the commercials talking for him.
Hi, Honshumain.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the topics. Now, because this is going to be a very cramped show, I had to shave a lot of the more laid-back and less interesting topics, and I picked out a handful that I think we can all agree are going to be at least somewhat entertaining to talk about. Barring this very first one, which is sadly something I wish we had chance to have a cast about last month, because the first topic on the list is going to be about the passing of Akira Toriyama.
Today would have been his birthday as well.
Oh, man. Now I'm really glad we brought it up, but at the same time, I'm really sad about it.
We lost a real legend.
Yeah, he's up there with the other two legends, and thank you for being so quick about that, Rom. I was just thinking about that picture.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, you absolute legend. Thank you for giving us Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, fun fact.
And Dr. Slump.
In Mexico, all cartel activity and wars stopped briefly. Because
and if you guys think about it,
in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And let's also not forget his work towards Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
Toriyama, there would be never one piece.
Blue Shadow.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from Toriyama.
Oh, God.
Toriyama was not only a very good friend to Oda, but also his sensei.
Right, I forgot about that.
I want to point out too, because I heard about like how countries were just like on hold at the moment because of the passing, and I'm just like, imagine being such an influential like artist and anime creator or director that whole nations, regardless of what their political views are, just hold still for like a day or two just to mourn your passing.
You have to have a seriously high standing in the universe to matter so much that literally everything legal and illegal stops because you passed away.
That's some shit you'd see in an RPG game, like at the very end as the credits are about to roll up, and you did like the hero route instead of the evil route.
And something also touching is that the last panel that he drew for the Dragon Ball Super manga was a shot of Piccolo waving.
Yeah, so, God, a chill just ran up my spine hearing that.
Yeah, and Toriyama always loved Piccolo.
Of course.
He's also best dad if you think about it.
And Orange Piccolo was his design.
Makes sense. All right, well, let's see if we can get some better direction going. You guys have heard that Crunchyroll is shutting down Funimation streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just sad.
It is, and and if you do happen to have any videos saved from them, all the videos from them will be deleted and inaccessible once it's done. And this has obviously caused a huge amount of backlash because Funimation may not have been the greatest streaming service, but they were good.
I was gonna say, yeah.
If I didn't hit Crunchyroll enough already.
It's a bit too far. Or maybe Crunchyroll is still pissy about the reception to High Guardian Spice.
You know, that's a good possibility.
Yeah, I hope so.
Kind of reminds me of Warner Brothers' recent activity.
Fuck Warner Brothers.
Yeah, let's not...
Yeah, it's... Well, I bring it up because it is a similar situation. They complete a movie that everyone has been long awaiting for, Wile E. Coyote versus Acme, and then as soon as it's finished, they got fucking taxes to do. So they're like, okay, we need the money for these sort of like tax audits. What do we axe? Well, how about we, the CEO, I believe he is, had the grand idea to axe the movie they literally just completed for these tax audits.
As it happens,
and now they're releasing another Looney Tunes movie.
Yeah, how ironic. As it happens, I managed to get a hold of a leaked copy of the script of that Wile E. Coyote movie.
Yeah, the entire plot got leaked.
Not the entire plot, the entire movie, the entire script writing for the entire movie was leaked. I read the whole thing.
It's like for 2 whole weeks, you go onto Twitter, and that was literally what everyone was talking about via protest. And I'm like, dude, you know how many work? I mean, because you have the obvious voice actors, and then you also have the regular actors. I would assume this is like some Who Framed Roger Rabbit animation meets real life sort of movie. So you wasted their time by thinking of even deleting this film. You probably didn't even fucking pay them well, so that's another like oof moment.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't trust.
You know, it's a bad sign when even the current voice actor for Bugs Bunny called them out on it.
Yeah, you just gotta love
I
it
think
when.
this image I made like a year or so ago sums it up pretty well.
You gotta love
My-
it when. You gotta love it when show creators or even voice actors call out the company that's like contracted them. Like Alex Hirsch of Gravity Falls fame, for instance.
That's why business are looking to replace people.
Yes, and thank you, Connor. That is actually a perfect punctuation meme. Okay, so here's something that I think we can all get a good groan out of. You guys heard about the new Quest-style ads that Discord's getting ready to implement?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The what now?
Basically, they're getting ready to implement a process. It's still somewhat rumor, but it's more or less confirmed kind of thing, that they're getting ready to implement an ad system where certain things will pop up down at the bottom of your screen, and you can click into it and perform certain tasks and earn free stuff in the process.
Makes
Yeah,
no sense to do.
It doesn't. They just want money. And
Exactly.
The thing is, ads nowadays aren't there anymore to
Honestly,
make money.
I
They
think
are
it's a
there
good choice.
to gain
Connor's
our
the
data and sell
Discord
that data.
hang on,
No,
guys.
no.
Hang on. What were you trying to say, Zivuth? I'm sorry.
I said the funny thing is that ads aren't there anymore to make money. They are just there to track our data and our cookies and make money out of us.
That's
Well,
selling our data.
It sucks. And I've said it
Time to
multiple
implement a ad blocker app into Discord.
Let's hope that happens. But
Oh
If-
god,
if
can you imagine? Oh, finish.
sorry, I was just gonna say, at the moment there does appear to be a way to switch it off within your settings, but we all know that Discord's not going to allow that to happen forever because very few people will willingly keep that engaged. And of course, Routine mentioned that I've got a backup Gilded server in case Discord ever eventually fully shits the bed, so we've got somewhere else to be if it comes down to it. Now go ahead, sorry.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna point out. Imagine if they did like pull a YouTuber out where if you had ad blocker, a lot of your functions would be limited,
Oh,
or you'd be
God.
kicked out. You can only be in the VC for like say 30 minutes. Have fun until you
Wait,
disable your ad blocker.
Okay,
Like
what were you
the-
going to say, Lon? What were you going to say, Lon?
does the loot boxes on your little screen, is it connected to that?
I think so. I actually don't
Oh,
know. I never bothered to look into that.
Oh yeah,
Because-
I heard they added loot box. Oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they
My-
give you special icons.
That was the most terrible appeal
That's
stroke
correct.
ever.
Yeah, they
Quicken.
they give you unique profile pictures that move around when you talk, and it's like okay,
We already
whatever.
Have that. We already have that. Thank you, Rom. I was actually going to bring that up next. Anybody who's using Windows 10 beyond 2025 is going to have to pay out the ass to continue to have it supported. It's going to cost you $61 a year for the first year, and then it's going to double from there for the second, and then double there for the third. So yeah, this is pretty much your
That's
free
messed up.
notification to switch to Windows 11, or better yet, switch to Linux. I don't
Hey.
use Linux, I use Windows 11, but I will happily encourage anyone to not use Windows if they are sick of having to pay out the ass for no reason.
Hold up. Say what now?
If you take a look in the podcast chat, Microsoft says that if you're using Windows 10 beyond 2025, you're going to have to start paying annually for it.
Man,
Wait, why?
no.
They're sick of
Because
supporting
they're
older platforms.
cheapskates.
Yeah.
They're cheapskates. That's why.
all it is.
Not a...
So yeah,
It's like,
have fun
What?
with that.
Why don't they just you do the Windows 7 and just not support it anymore?
Because they won't support Windows 7 anymore. I think that stuff's been officially deactivated, and I think the term is deprecated or whatever, for years.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why don't they do that with Windows 10 as well?
Because money.
They get more money out of using Windows 10, which seems to be a preferred version over Windows 11, and I can see why.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because Windows 10 is a little bit easier to manage than Windows 11 buggy bullcrap.
Okay. I never used 11. I just kept
boycott.
Yeah. And like I said, I fully support anyone's idea of switching to Linux at this point, even though I don't use it myself. My wife does. She has been begging me to give it a try, and at this point, I just might.
Not surprising.
What's with large corporations this year just being extra ballsy?
Corporations exist to make money.
Like they were ballsy before with a lot of their scummy practices, but this year they're like really doubling down.
They are.
Especially game companies and corporations. They're just holy fuck.
Remember the YouTuber program Nintendo tried to set up?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That didn't work out very well for them, did it?
Yeah.
That's
basically what they're trying to do.
Of course, there was the whole Unity fiasco.
Rob Lilly just mentioned that at the same time you brought it up.
It's like they saw the scam fiasco that was the day before, and they're like, "Oh, we can replicate this because we're a bigger company with a bigger budget. Who's gonna complain?" Oh, why is everybody
allow us to introduce ourselves?
Why is Twitter making fun of us? Stop it.
Well, on the subject of failing companies, that actually brings me to the next topic, which is Rooster Teeth shutting down at some point in this year.
Echo, Play the Man by Aloe Black.
Oh, God. So,
Despacito, Play Country Roads.
I'm gonna name my Alexa that just because. So here's the thing: the condition of most of their shows is virtually unknown. We do know that they are actively trying to sell Ruby, but they have confirmed that in May of this year they will be releasing the final season of Red vs. Blue, which I am so goddamn happy about.
I think it's not going to be a season, but more of a feature-length movie of some kind.
It is, and I'm fine with that. Apparently they're going to be selling it digitally, and this is going to be one of those rare instances where I fully support the idea of paying out of pocket for a piece of media that realistically anybody could make if they had the right equipment.
Yeah, I'm going to say about this, what the Rooster Teeth shut down. I'm surprised it took this long to happen.
As minor note, I was watching the new D&D show on Rooster Teeth. I found it funny.
Oh, Tales of the Stinky Dragon?
Yeah, it ended on a cliffhanger recently, and then I found out that Rooster Teeth is closing down.
Yeah, which is incredibly funny because Weiss Schwarz just recently announced that they're getting a Ruby expansion pack. I'd love to see how that's going to go.
Yeah.
Dude, I think with the Ruby...
But I think we can all agree that following this, it's another reason to hate WB Discovery.
Yeah, WB actually owned Rooster Teeth, I believe.
Yeah,
the thing is about Rooster Teeth. Apparently, after 2011, they were losing money.
I can't say I'm surprised.
I think it wasn't Warner Brother. I just think it's Rooster Teeth themselves that are not doing well.
Could be, and that would explain in season 14 where they literally had a mini episode all about their energy drinks. Like, they were spamming that advertisement unbelievably hard.
Dear.
But let's take this and see if we can turn it into an upswing. The next thing I was going to bring up was the Oxford Dictionary has decided to add a ton of new terms, and there are two terms in specific I wanted to draw attention to. The first one being isekai. Isekai is now in the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Long enough.
My soul got damaged when I heard that.
Well, this might repair it. They're also adding tokusatsu.
What's that?
The frick is a tokusatsu?
Tokusatsu, basically Sentai and Kamen Rider.
Yeah, tokusatsu is the nickname for any and all Japanese-style live-action actual factual physical special effects TV shows. It includes Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, or Power Rangers as we know over here, and other shows of that nature like Garo, Ultraman, things like that.
I haven't seen Ultraman in forever.
Yeah, they just released a trailer for a brand new season, actually, Ultraman Arc.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a Tokusatsu section here in this server that you can look at when you get a chance. They've actually released full video trailers.
That's sick.
That was actually the next topic on my list was going to be about that. So after
Here's
that,
something I find weird with Arc.
okay,
Arc kind of feels like Juoger.
a little. It's very old style, but it's fine. It looks good.
Yeah.
My
his
issue is the
suit
helmet
reminds me
design.
of
It looks like he's
Orb.
got a slick back.
Yeah, his suit reminds me like the bastard child of Orb and Zolfi.
Little bit.
'Cause
My
it's
problem with
probably
him is
the
that
black on the neck.
my problem with him is the transformation item he uses. He has little cubes that he uses to transform, and then he puts it into this big bulky thing. It doesn't make sense logistically. You'd think it would be something that he could just put on his hand or put on his belt loop and it'd be fine, but it does not look right to me. I'm being nitpicky, but
Why do
moving
you
into
think I brought up Juoger? Like
Fair
the
enough.
device was very Juoger in my eyes.
That's fair, but at least that thing had the multifunctional capability of being a phone. A Rubik's Cube that turned into a phone is always going to be fun for me. On the subject of, Japan in general, Tekken was apparently getting spammed about adding Waffle House to its game map roster.
Wait,
Oh
what?
yes.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
that was funny.
it's fitting. It would be the funniest fucking. Imagine being a Waffle House employee, and at 3 in the morning you just see a buff luchador, a man with a jaguar mask beating up a devil man.
In the middle of a Waffle House parking lot. It makes too much sense.
Yeah.
And the devil man, and the devil man sugarcoats with electric wind god fist.
You know what's funny? That reminds me of what we discussed like a few weeks ago, Nanashi, how someone brought up that, oh, what if Gordon Ramsay went in to correct a Waffle House?
Oh my god, you're right. We predicted it by accident, technically. But here's the
And,
best
and
bit.
I,
Go ahead.
oh, I was
Speaking
also
of-
going. Because you were like, oh, Gordon Ramsay's smart then, he's avoiding the Waffle House, and then I just reiterate with, dude, Gordon Ramsay's a black belt, it would be his most entertaining show yet. He'd fix up a bad place, and then he'd also get to showcase his black belt martial arts skills if need be.
That is true.
Yeah.
Now, what were you going to say, Connor?
Speaking of accidentally predicting stuff, I did the YigiTuber slander thing
Oh.
a year or so, 2 ago. And more specifically, the community one, where
This.
somebody, when I couldn't find it, basically said TGS anime explaining something. So I
Oh,
posted-
yeah.
Wait,
So
I
put
saw.
So I put in the video specifically TGS anime explaining how Odeon could have won the Val City tournament.
Oh,
And guess
yeah.
what happened last fucking month?
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah, no, TGS did indeed. Was Odeon about to beat Joey during the Battle City
100%,
Finals?
yeah.
Oh, God.
I saw that on Twitter. That was like one of the, because I follow Connor there, and that was one of the first things I saw. He was like, it was a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
that not too long ago, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Of course
Thanks,
Odeon
Rom.
was-
You're amazing at that. But drifting back for a moment, there was one other thing I was going to cover about that. Regarding Tekken adding Waffle House, it turns out that not even 2 days later, somebody came out with a mod for the video game Melty Blood, where one of the maps became Waffle House.
I'm telling you, so many fighting games could profit just from having a stage that has that's just a Waffle House parking lot. It fits and it's funny.
It's either Waffle House or
Really?
Denny's. I don't care
Like-
which.
Like you know how
fine,
many
dude.
people. Like I swear, if say Mortal Kombat was the first series to do that, they'd get a skyrocket of new players. Dude, imagine working Waffle House at 3 in the morning. You just see some guy rip another dude's spine out of his back.
You just see a Thunder God just breaking
But
your...
don't forget to add Gordon Ramsay as playable character.
You see like a
That's-
Thunder God
That's his bonus
walk
match.
to your door asking for pancakes.
So dumb.
No, dead ass. I would want a Gordon Ramsay outfit for Eddie.
Yes. I mean, it's very much possible. You can do tons of customizations in Tekken 8, so...
That's kind of literally the only reason I want Tekken 8, because character customization, I can make all the abominations I want and have them fight. Which is why I really loved Soul Calibur 6 before that shut down, or just Soul Calibur in general. Oh god damn it! Now I'm sad because one of the last
And then he
podcasts
shouted and called you a donkey.
we were one of the last podcasts we were talking about series that deserve a revival, and Soul Calibur was brought up.
Oh yeah.
And that's never gonna happen, sadly, knowing our luck. We don't live in that perfect timeline, in case it wasn't obvious.
No, we don't live in that timeline, but I can tell you one timeline that we do live in, and I think it might make you feel a little better if you don't know about it. How many of you know about the lawsuit going on with Bad Dragon?
Oh, I heard about this via
know.
Twitter.
Well,
No.
I'll give you the quick
I'm not keeping in the
synopsis.
dark.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Sam.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. Okay, so
This no.
Bad Dragon. If you don't know who Bad Dragon is, they make animal-style adult toys. And they are in the middle of a lawsuit against a company called Sin Saint Incorporated. Apparently, they believe that there was infringement, if not straight-up theft, of some of their dildo designs.
Oh no.
There is now going to be case law about
no.
a stolen design for a dog dildo.
Oh my gosh.
What timeline do we live in where that's an actual court case that's coming up? What is the jury supposed to do even in that case? Okay, jury, I want you to examine these two and I want you to pinpoint just where we got ripped off on the dildos. They just
Absolutely.
plopped down a dildo on the witness stand.
Absolutely, it's gonna be Exhibit A. He's gonna pull out a fucking 3-foot long chance-flared XL horse dildo and slap it down the table. The fuck you
Look
say
at
about
this
Minecraft?
shit.
Exhibit
The
A.
jury and judge, look at this shit. It's clearly copyright infringement.
Killing me.
That's not how we make our dildos, but they copied our design.
Oh,
Why
God.
does this affect my soul so much?
Because it's fucking hysterical.
Because it tickles your funny bone.
Oh,
Exactly, what the actual fuck?
Hey, you made the prototype that looks like me, so I sue you now.
This is
It's
actually
like-
this
it's
is
like-
purgatory.
If you all thought the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard court trial was funny to watch alongside the memes that came from it, oh boy, we're gonna have a contender that knocks that shit out of the ring.
Exhibit 1, Flare Chance XL dildo. Exhibit 2, Rex.
There's also Exhibit 3, Mekaneko versus Mafu.
Oh, God.
But let's
Now,
not
as-
jump into that rabbit hole.
Let's do
I feel
funny.
bad for that judge.
As scholarly man Steve
No one-
Buscemi once said, "Do you think God stays in
Reputation
heaven
is gonna be
because he
damaged by
too
that.
lives in fear of what he's created?"
No one is going to be able to take this case seriously. Every single member of the jury is going to either be dying of embarrassment or dying of laughter.
Imagine that.
Some
Imagine.
Oh.
No. Imagine getting jury duty for this shit. You're out of the loop. You stand in the jury. You stand on the jury podium. It's like, okay, what are we solving? A murder? Some shoplifting, maybe? Then they plop down a fucking Bad Dragon dildo. Okay, I'm out.
It's either going to be the greatest day of your life or the worst day of your life. There is not going to be an in-between.
This video is 100% getting age restricted.
I don't even care. This is too much
The
fun
entire
to talk
jury will
about.
die of laughter.
I doubt you get any ads in general.
And I
Yeah,
I don't get ads in anything. I can't. Which actually reminds me, though, there was one last topic I was going to bring up before I let Zivuth talk about his wrestling thing. I might be getting a sponsor soon.
Yeah.
Oh.
From
nice.
Raid Shadow Legends.
You wish.
Okay,
Okay, so here's the deal. It's still a little bit in the works, but I'm going to give you what I got. I got a friend who has been working on a hand-drawn coloring book, basically. 52 pages. He's been working on this thing for years. And he's planning on having a digital copy of it made, distributed all across the internet, and he's going to sell it for like $20, which is 52 pages for $20. It's not bad. And as soon as he is done with it, he's going to have a website that's going to be put up, which is going to be made by my wife. He's going to have business cards that are going to be handed out by everyone I know. And if that happens, I'm going to talk to him and seriously be in the works about putting some kind of an ad somewhere in my videos. It's still up in the air right now, but the second he's done is the second we start serious talks.
Very nice. Well done.
I thought it was AFK Journey.
Shot.
Funny.
Have you played that game? I played it.
No,
No,
I
I
have
haven't.
no interest.
And
The
I don't
only mobile
intend to.
game
I
I
have no
play anymore is
intention of getting
Nameless.
it.
It's pretty okay.
I'm sure it is. But that was the last fun little topic I had on hand. So now we're going to deep dive into some of the other topics. Zivuth, you first.
Okay, but before I get to the wrestling, I want to mention that Rockstar finally gets rid of the griefers. The world is healing.
Oh yes, Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. You can't be fucking spawn killed into oblivion anymore. They finally answered this. To think they answered like 2 years prior to Grand Theft Auto 6.
Right.
Not
I
only
forgot about
spawn
that.
killing, but other
Years.
things are forbidden too now.
Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now to wrestling. Tomorrow is WrestleMania 40. I thought I could have started to talk about WrestleMania last month, but that podcast got sadly cancelled.
Exactly.
So I will do a little review about the road to WrestleMania, talk about the match card a bit, at least about the important stuff since we don't have so much time today, and what my predictions are.
That's perfectly fine. Go right ahead.
So first off, today was the stage of WrestleMania 40 revealed, and I must say I understand why so many people are mad about it. I personally like it. It's simple build. It's not so big like the last one, but that's because the Lincoln Stadium is just half the size of the Sophie Stadium structure-wise.
Huh.
I mean, maybe Rom can help me here while I talk about wrestling to put up some links.
Actually, he already did.
Yeah, so next I want to review a bit about Road to WrestleMania. It started, I don't know how many of you followed the drama with Cody Rhodes and The Rock, which started at the beginning, because everything started with the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I mean that I still come talking about the heating fight, how heated it got and how brutal. But first, it started all with the Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes winning it once again. But the thing is, he only won it again because CM Punk got injured during the Royal Rumble match. Since he was supposed to win and face with Seth Rollins. Then, they had no opponent for Seth Rollins anymore, so they had the backup plan, Cody Rhodes vs Seth Rollins, since The Rock finally had time this year. And The Rock wanted that match against Roman Reigns for the title. But as it must happen, our generous woke generation set wasn't acceptable with that and started a huge uproar, crying for Cody versus Roman. Like it was a really hefty bitch fight on Twitter and the other social media and in the halls as well. Like they all were demanding for Cody Rhodes and stuff. It got so out of hand that WWE couldn't resist and unhear it any longer to make it back to Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. So that resulted in that The Rock turned it heel after so many years. I believe it was 2002 when he was a heel last time. Hollywood Rock.
No, I think it was 2003 because that was doing the concerts.
Yeah, 2003 it was. Thanks. Anyway, that led to Elimination Chamber, putting up Drew McIntyre now as the challenger for Seth Rollins since he won the Chamber match. So then, in the second half of the road to WrestleMania, we began to see the bloody fight between Cody Rhodes and The Rock, which ended up in first a brutal beating for Cody Rhodes on the parking lot against The Rock. Like, it wasn't even a brawl, it was an execution from The Rock, what he did there. This then led to a tag team match on night 1. Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. When The Rock and Roman Reigns win, the main event in night 2, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, will be a Blood Reigns rules match, which means no disqualifications, everything goes. But if Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes win the tag team match in night 1, then the Bloodline is entirely banned from the ring, and Roman Reigns has to fight on his own. So, and last Raw before Mania, we had another brutal beating by Roman Reigns and The Rock beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins with weight belts.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so now about the card, as I said, I will only talk about the important stuff like the title matches. So first we got Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship.
Ooh,
which is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was meant to be Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, but I think you all heard what happened with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I don't want to further talk about it here in the podcast. Like, that topic is what happened.
I appreciate
Brock
that.
the who?
Exactly.
What did you say?
He said talk about who. He's making a joke.
Brock
Yeah.
the who?
Yeah, then for the United States Championship, we have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul, with Paul being the champion.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it
It's
really
funny-
is.
it's
And I
funny
hope
that
he
you
loses.
It's funny that you bring up Logan Paul because, you know, the whole Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson thing that's been going on.
Oh God.
Funnily enough, from what I've seen recently, Jake Paul, I don't know if it's like true enough or not, given how like scattered the sources are per se, but apparently, during a literal sparring match, Jake Paul got hospitalized by Tyson and is literally canceling the match.
You know, I can't say I'm
idiot.
surprised.
You idiot.
I mean,
Well,
the
it's
thing
that
is,
like-
deserves it for his big mouth.
He had to go for he had to do brain scans on him because of how hard he got hit. And one of the comments I'll never forget, it's like they did a brain scan for you because you thought you were an actual fighter.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, roasted.
I think the even funnier part is that I forgot where, but at one point, Logan and Jake Paul are actually wrestlers. There you go.
it's
I've had a clever analogy for this whole situation before. Jake Paul is the honey badger, even though the honey badger isn't scared of death or anyone. They're still up against an old ass elephant who, though while old and out of their prime, would still most definitely decimate them
yep.
for sheer strength
Most
alone.
likely, yeah.
Yeah.
And if this whole thing is like true and the match was canceled after this one sparring match, then the analogy remains true.
It really does.
Yep.
Yeah,
And in the fact that even outside of his prime and even like needing a cane to walk around, Mike Tyson can still pull off some impressive stuff.
Yeah.
And he still has the figure for the boxing scene.
Yeah,
which is another impressive thing.
Yeah.
I consider this just putting an upstart in his place.
Yeah, realistically it is.
Yeah.
But was there anything else wrestling?
Yeah, I wasn't finished at all, so sorry.
It's fine.
I
It's
just-
fine. You hear the Paul brothers, you just gotta take a jab.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Then for the Tag Team Championship, we have the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor defending the title in a six-pack tag team ladder match. And I don't know exactly all the teams that are taking part in it because they are so much. I believe that are Awesome Truth. So the Miz and our Truth. Yeah, thanks for putting it up. That are all, yes, that's wrong. Then we have for the World Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley is defending her title against Becky Lynch, which will be amazing match, by the way. All matches with Rhea Ripley involved are amazing. Then for the WWE Women's Championship, we have Io Sky versus Bayley. The background behind that is that the Damage Control betrayed Bayley and kicked her out. That's why this match is happening. And that's why Bayley chose Io Sky as her opponent, since she won the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay, that tracks.
For the World Heavyweight Championship, we have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, which I mentioned already before, since Drew McIntyre won the Elimination Chamber match. And then the main event of Night 2 will be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes Part 2, about the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. And here's something interesting I want to throw in the room. Since there was an interview with Roman Reigns, so not a scripted interview, it was a real one, a few days ago, where he said if he should lose the title, then his career is kinda over, then he will vanish from WWE, which is very interesting.
Yeah, actually it is, when you think about it.
And people came up with that he accidentally spoiled that he win the title match one again, since he still has a contract running he must submit. As though he has to... How do you say, sorry, I don't find the word right now for it.
It's fine. I think we get what you're trying to imply.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and besides that, we have the brother duel, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Then we have Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Naomi, and who was the third one? Bianca Belair, yes. So that's 3 versus the rest of Damage Control. Then we have also Dominic Mysterio and Elgato del Fantasma versus the LWO in a tag team match. So that was the most important thing about this Mania. The rest is just filler material, just to get the card filled up. Before I get to the predictions, I must say, after CM Punk got injured and Brock Wu got fired, they still did a pretty decent job to pull up the biggest Mania of all time, card-wise. Like, I'm hyped for it.
I'm glad.
So for my predictions, I will go first with the United States Championship and say Kevin Owens finally wins a title again, since he deserves this. and nobody wants to see Logan Paul as champion anymore. Even
True.
if I must admit, he's a great heel. He does nice wrestling moves. Like, he is not bad at all. But nobody can stand this dude. He's not deserved to be a champion at all. He's just a mid-carder, even if he's just a great heel. But yeah. Good riddance of that dude soon, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Then for the Intercontinental Championship, I'm kinda tight because Sami Zayn would really deserve a title win and would be the right one to dethrone Gunther after this amazing title run. But I think Gunther will defend here. Like, Sami Zayn was shown so weak towards him in the entire fight, and Gunther performs on another level right now, just like on Roman Reigns' level. And also that Bash in Berlin is still this year, and I bet they want Gunther to walk in as champion there. So for the tag team match, I predict that Awesome Truth is winning the tag team titles, or even far wider seen that we get 2 more tag team champions. Since we have 2 belts on the line, just not 1. Don't forget, the 2 belts still exist. They didn't get meshed together like the Universal Championship got. So there can be 2 winners in this match, which will be exciting to see on each front the tag team title again. But yeah, my bet is that Damien Priest and Finn Balor losing the title here. But they had an amazing run with it anyway. So then for the World Women's Championship, I predict Rhea Ripley to defend. Like, what has Becky Lynch to win the title, and she was a champ so often, and people slowly have enough of her winning. It's like Charlotte Flair winning X title. Then for the WWE Women's Championship, I predict that Bayley win over Io Sky and get the title from her, and that also means that Damage Control will fall apart. Why that is, I get to it now, because I think Damage Control will also lose their tag team match against Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. That's because Jade Cargill has her first official match at WrestleMania, and wrestlers never lost their first official match. Also, she's a very big draw and name, so she won't lose that match. Yeah, that's a safe bet here. Then you wanted to say something?
Yeah, to be fair, Cargill is built like a pillar woman.
Yeah?
Yeah, she is.
I teabagged an earthquake.
It's like there's a random square on the screen.
Yeah, sorry. Where
Yosh
Yosh lost his account a while ago, I haven't had a chance to reset his interactive character. I'm actually doing that right now.
What happened to his account?
Oh dear.
Yeah, so
I still find it adorable.
So can I continue, or
Yeah, go right ahead. Sorry.
So for the World Heavyweight Championship, I think that Drew McIntyre will win, gets his moment, but Damian Priest will cash in and cost Drew McIntyre the moment, since he haven't synced a new contract yet. It is unlikely to do so at this point. So that means he will leave WWE after WrestleMania. Or that is another scenario I want to come up next, but before I get to the hottest prediction of all, I go over to the Brother Duel. I say that Jey Uso is winning over Jimmy Uso, and Jimmy turning face, leaving the bloodline behind him so they reunite, which would be nice to see. Like, Jey finally opens Jimmy's eyes. And I hope it's gonna be a very emotional match on top of that.
I hope for that too, honestly. It sounds like it'll be a good match.
Then, for the... Yes?
No, go ahead. I'll wait.
Then for the main event of night 1, I predict. So there are 2 scenarios I want to bring up, and that prediction can go either way. Prediction A is Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins winning the tag team match over The Rock and Roman Reigns. So the main event in night 2 will be a fair match. But if we now go to night 2, since it will be a fair match, I can see Roman winning clean against Cody Rhodes, and that puts the story to a rest overall. Why is that? Because first, that was solidify Roman's title reign. Second, Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the title at WrestleMania 41 will be a way bigger draw when Roman loses his title there than now against Cody Rhodes. And the third point is, it would be a feel-good moment if Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins win in night 1. So now, the other scenario is, which is most likely unlikely, but would be hype if it's happened. That means The Rock and Roman Reigns brutally win in night 1, the tag team match, which means we go into night 2 in the main event with the Bloodlines rules match, which means Cody Rhodes has to fight the entire bloodline. Everything is allowed. Like, we could see him getting buried and all. He doesn't have a chance. And then out of sudden, since it's WrestleMania 40 and also in Philadelphia, I could see Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out of nowhere and dealing with The Rock, since The Rock would immediately charge on Steve Austin, since they have a past together. And
I can see that.
And John Cena would come out to take care of Solo Sikoa, since because of the match they also have a past story each other. And then if Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso don't reunite again, then I could see Jey Uso coming and taking care of Jimmy Uso. So Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are alone and can settle that under them. And Cody Rhodes actually gets his triple crossroads truth and the pinfall, which means we have a new champion. But here's another scenario I want to bring in. If Damian Priest won't cash in against Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins, he will cash in against Cody Rhodes and rip the title off him. Or even when Roman Reigns defends, he will cash in on Roman Reigns. Like, that would be a shocker. No one would imagine that Roman loses his title like that.
I could see that, actually, yeah.
Like, there isn't any other opportunity to do a big draw with a cash in after Mania. There are just this is the last chance for the writers to let Damian Priest cash in. So they will do it.
Wait, are they still gonna keep the idea that Cena is the only person to ever cash in the Money in the Bank and lose?
That already happened, but I doubt that. Since Damian Priest was shown so strong the entire road to WrestleMania, like he was made very believable to cash in successfully, and I think that's what the writer's going for here, that he will cash in successfully and put the WWE world to shock. Since The Rock, as the TKO manager, mentioned in the interview that they had something very special planned and that will everyone's just wide mouth open. And I can imagine something like that will happen. So yeah. But now I'm done with my topic, except you still want to talk about my predictions, but I would give back to Nanashi then.
Alright, well, thank you for sharing, and honestly, I might start looking more into wrestling now, because the way you've explained it makes it sound a little bit more interesting than I've probably given it credit for. On top of that, I think Yuki Nana is actually kind of into wrestling, so maybe I really should. But
Mania
Sorry, my cat jumped on my stomach.
Mania is your best chance then to get into wrestling.
I might consider it then, but I will look into that later. Now, in the meantime, though, now we can finally start diving into the card games. Starting right at the top of the list is Ori.
Alright.
I'm sorry. Before we start, did y'all mention Toriyama already?
Yeah,
Yeah,
already
we
went
did
past
that right at the beginning.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was the very first thing we talked about.
Okay, as it should be. Okay, I'm sorry, continue.
Alright. Anyway, so we have a lot of Digimon news to cover, so I'm probably just going to do a quick fire round. First things first, the Digimon series has just celebrated its 25th anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah, 25 years since the first Digimon media, Adventure 99, was released, and then
25
shortly
years
after
ago.
that, the TV series. And kind of go along with that, they've just announced a 25th anniversary themed Digivice with unique colors to go with it.
Oh
hey.
my god.
My ignister, literally just talking about
Yosh jump
Digimon.
scare.
Okay,
Literally
real quick, I want to give my insight on Digimon.
He's
No, not
covering my
Digimon.
face,
Shadowverse cards.
Ori's in the middle of his Digimon thing, so when that's done, we'll go ahead and give you the floor. Is that okay? He only needs a couple minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. By the way, you got toasted, apparently.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
Wait, what do you mean?
And
Wait, what do you mean I got toasted?
Your icon in OBS on the stream, the podcast stream, has been turned into the toast icon.
I thought I meant something else.
You're now a floating pile of toast.
Hilarious.
All right, so
Anyway.
let's get back on track. He doesn't have a lot of time, so let's get back to Ori. What were you gonna say?
Alright, thank you. So back to Digimon. Following on from that, Kazumasa Habu, the main producer for modern Digimon games such as Digimon World Next Order, Cyber Sleuth Pasaka's Memory, and Digimon Survive, has officially stepped down from Bandai Namco. He would no longer be producing any more games.
Damn.
So his legacy will be remembered fondly.
Or that way than the way that Toriyama and the Yu creator went out.
Yeah.
Not really. He's not passed away. He's just moved on. He's left.
No, I know. I'm saying it's better that than him dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Okay. I see what you're getting at. Anyways, please.
Yeah.
Or how Kojima got taken out via Konami.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Let's not go into that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ori.
Yeah.
You have the floor.
Okay.
You have the floor, Ori.
Anyway, back to Digimon. Zero to the Beginning will be coming to Blu-ray on June 11th, so look forward to that. I unfortunately don't own Blu-ray compatible devices. And finally, we have a new webcomic coming out on April 25th called Digimon Liberator. And it's a card game based webcomic. It's literally about the actual Digimon card game.
Oh.
Yeah,
Liberator, don't even know her.
prologue to it. And the funny thing is the champion of this series runs a Galacticmon deck. And it's funny because if you play the card game, you know that Galacticmon is table 500 at best.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh, I thought he played Metal.
Honestly,
on X.
what card game protagonist doesn't play a mid deck?
He's not a
That
protagonist,
is true.
actually.
You know,
The
he's
protagonist
not.
is,
He's not wrong.
Wait,
Yeah,
what card? Wait, card game protagonist playing mid deck? Did we forget that Yusaku exists and that's code talkers are actually pretty good, or just
Did we-
Cypress in general?
Did we
Uh,
forget
yeah, like,
half the
Yusaku-
I
I mean,
think it's the archetype and where a deck itself means.
No, but more specifically, people have to remember, Yusaku's deck is good. It's just Dark Fluid is terrible.
Fair enough.
It would have been better if he did run circular.
Vrains, I know we're not on that topic, but I did want to point out real quick. Vrains was just that card game anime where it's like everyone's decks more or less were meta or at least tier 1 or 2 at some point.
That is true.
And I
Yeah.
don't know if
I
that's an
agree.
improvement or if that's a nightmare in hindsight for the card game.
Both.
Hmm.
But but we don't have a lot of time here, so back to Ori.
Yeah. It's not the champion isn't the main protagonist. He's going to be set up as one of the rivals, I believe. So anyway, that actually segues nicely into the card game. Starting things off, the ban list took effect back on March 1st. As a quick reminder, BT14 Bukamon, EX5 Gabumon X, Garurumon X, and Anubismon, and BT15 Apocalypmon are all restricted to 1. So rest in peace to Dark Masters until EX6 at the very least. And also, someone please take down that crucified Gabumon. Its corpses is stinking up the place.
Well, to be fair, with that crucifixion, it's ass. He's still alive.
Fair.
I want to point out the Gabumon crucifixion is really weird because the whole point of it is that you're practically suffocating in place because of the awkward positioning. So putting a podium beneath the legs is very counterintuitive.
It's so the arms don't, completely tear opponent apart. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's really weird.
But back into it.
Anyway, going back to the card game, we got 2 English set releases. BT15 Exceed Apocalypse back in mid to late February. Basically one of the worst selling sets currently, thanks to the ban list. And the advanced deck Double Typhoon, that's the Terriermon Lotmon Alliance deck, released back in March 5th, I want to say. Something along to that. But the
March, I'd say.
UK was delayed by 2 weeks. Going into Japan, we have the release of 2 sets. First up is EX6 Infernal Ascension, and there is no Lucemon Satan mode in Ba Sing Se because the second secret rare is actually Mirei. Because they clearly learnt their lesson from waifu taxing Mirei as a super rare, and Rina is a secret rare in BT11.
Oh.
And then the second release is BT17 Secret Crisis, which is the movie-themed set. And also, we now have the upcoming release of 2 new starter decks. It's now reveal session for them. Guardian Vortex and Fable Waltz. They will be released later this month in Japan on the 26th. Introducing the new keywords of Waltz and Vortex. Waltz is kind of busted because it lets one of your Digimon declare an attack by deleting another Digimon of either the same type or by deleting a token. So imagine Diabormon with that ability.
Oh boy.
Frickin' welcome to Broke City.
Welcome to Broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And Waltz, if I can find this frickin' ability. It's actually called Fortitude. No, not Fortitude. That's another set that's been removed. That's been recently added. Okay. If I can frickin' find it.
It's Vortex.
Where's the frickin'? Nah, I can worry about that another time. And let's not worry about that.
We'll put in a note in the post show.
The second keyword is Vortex.
Thank you. Continuing on with a future release set, we have the announcement of EX7 Digimon Liberator, which will be set for a Japanese release of May 31st. No prizes into guessing as to what that will be themed around.
I wonder who it could possibly be.
Yeah, totally not the new webcomic. And then the last bit of news is something I think you might find interesting, Nanashi, and that's the name drop of BT18, which is Elemental Successor. And apparently it's rumored that it could be themed around Digimon Frontier. And I know that you're a big fan of that series.
I am.
So maybe we'll finally get Lucemon Satan mode in that set. But
side note, the first deck I gave Nanashi is Red Hybrid, so
not surprising. Not surprising at all.
And of course, I went above and beyond with the finishing move after the first or second game I played, because why not?
Of course.
As one should.
Okay, so was that all the Digimon news?
Yeah. Yep, that's all I've got.
Okay, well, real quick, AI Ignister actually decided to stop in because he wanted to talk about Shadowverse Evolve real quick, which I think is perfectly fine because I'm basically done talking about Magic the Gathering at this point, so I say we give that time slot to that.
I forgot that exists.
Okay, so first off, it's not just Evolve, but like also the original game. But the cards I'm talking about is from Evolve. So, secondly, my favorite deck in Shadowverse is the chess deck, which is all thanks to the anime. And in Evolve, first off, they have crucified, they have neutered my boy, which I am upset. Secondly, they got 3 pieces of support as of late. First one, it is Skier. You choose one of the following options. If you have at least 5 or more chess cards in your cemetery, which is the grade, you choose 2 instead. 1, each enemy player chooses one of their followers in play. It puts them into their cemetery. So basically, choose a monster on each side of the field. The controlling player decides their own, and they send it to the grave.
This is send, not destroy.
Yes.
Nuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
2.
so, why are you?
I don't know. Don't worry about it. 2. You heal 3 defense to your leader. In Shadowverse, the max life you can have is 20. And and the third effect, you draw 2 cards.
Oh. That's
next. Yeah. Next up, it is Gambit. Keep in mind, all 3 of these cards have the chess trait. So like any effects that like require you to have like the chess type the chess trait in your cemetery, they count.
fair enough.
Anyways, next up, Gambit. You summon a magical pawn token and you give it +1 attack and +0 defense and rush. Rush in Shadowverse allows you to attack the enemy followers, not the leader. That will be Storm.
Yes, Storm. Storm is I punch followers and leader. Rush is I just punch followers.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyways, continuing on with Gambit. Then, if you have at least 5 chess cards in your cemetery, search your deck for a chess follower that costs 4 play points or less and put it into play. To my knowledge, this doesn't trigger the fanfare effect. Fanfare is a key word that like happens when a follower is played.
Yeah. Wait, it puts it onto the field. Does it say put into play? Because Forestcraft has a lot of confusing rulings with that.
Yeah.
Like-
and last but not least, checkmate. Which in the anime, this requires you in the anime you gain a defense, and also if there are no cards in general on the field aside from an allied Mystic King, it gives Mystic King Storm. And it's a 0 cost card as well. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Skier is a 3 cost and Gambit is a 2 cost card.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with Mystic King. He's a late game finisher.
True. But like if there's like a single amulet on the opponent's card, then you can't use the checkmate.
So this is basically telling you better run some destruction in chess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, so what checkmate does in the actual Evolve game, it deals X damage to all enemy followers. X equals the number of chess cards in your cemetery. Also, this is new to me specifically because I'm not 100% sure if Evolve has this type of effects, but it has a graveyard effect, where you can banish it from your graveyard to give an allied Mystic King Storm. And unlike the anime, your opponent can have like as many cards as they want on their field. And Mystic King still has storms.
Gotcha. All right,
Yeah,
so
and that's basically that's basically all I want to talk about. I'm gonna go head off now. I am apparently toast.
Yeah.
yes, you are.
Okay, goodbye, Toast.
Mystic King having Storm is both scary and beautiful because he is 13-13. Someone hitting you in the nuts with that much power is going to hurt.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Like,
Yosh, your mic was going kind of ballistic there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Is
fine.
it
It
good
was a
now?
little scratchy is all. Yeah, I think you're fine now.
Oh, I think that I know why. My cat smacked it with her tail.
Ah. All right, well, next up on the list is Pokemon, and the only Pokemon news I know of is Pokemon Legends ZA.
That and all right. So TCG and Go for Worlds didn't have anything this year. However, something really fucking goofy happened with the VGC. So anyone who watched it's either Worlds or Regionals, I forget, but either way, recently a team won with Articuno.
We can hear you.
That alone is.
We can hear you.
So
Oh, okay.
No, I know. So that alone is goofy as hell, but not unheard of because terrestrialization kind of buffs everything. What makes it goofy as hell is how it won. So most of the time when you make a Pokemon team, you have to give it like moves usually that are not all the same type because that is a very bad idea. Because then if something comes in that's either immune or resist that one type, you're screwed and that Pokemon's basically useless. Articuno decided to not do that and go in with 4 fucking ice moves.
Baller.
My
The moves were,
brother-in-law, how is that?
They just won tournaments.
I'll tell you, just let me tell you the moves first. The moves were Ice Beam, Sheer Cold, Blizzard, and Freeze Dry. Now, normally, that sounds like a kit you would build in-game, like you would build for NPCs. The problem with that is, it was a Hail team, a Snow team, I mean. So, Articuno got a 50% boost to its defense, its special defense, excuse me. No, it's defense. Blizzard was 100% accurate because of it. And its ability, which is Snow Cloak, means it has 30% boosted boosted evasion. Meaning your moves, instead of hitting for 100, hit it also had Bright Powder, make it even worse. So basically every move was a coin flip. I'm not even joking.
Dang.
That's a 100% hit move.
Yeah. And everyone was wondering how the fuck did it work. And Moxie Boosted, a YouTuber who talks about VGC a lot, broke it down. Basically, it's because what was in the meta was countered by it very easily. And specifically, only the very good stuff was countered by it. Anything that was not was just you just use regular Pokemon. You just use Incineroar or Urshifu or anything like that.
From hearing that Freeze Dry was used, it basically told me, Wellspring, Ogerpon, get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say it. So the reason for each move is simple. Blizzard is spam. It's literally your best spam in Snow because it's 100% accurate and it's both people.
And it has a chance to freeze.
And has a chance to freeze both Pokemon. Ice Beam is just consistent damage for when you don't have Hail Up. Freeze Dry is for water types and Ogerpon. And Freeze Dry is for water types that resist ice. And then Sheer Cold is for Bulkymon or I didn't hear who said earlier. Ogerpon Wellspring. No, Ogerpon Wellspring. Yeah, Ogerpon Wellspring and Dondozo. It's meant for them specifically. Yeah. Oh, someone already posted the picture? Thank God. Yeah. so, the reason it worked is because those 4 moves counter everything good in the game, and anytime that it wasn't needed, the dude who brought it brought something else.
Cool.
Because it was more so to counter the really good stuff.
Gotcha.
And keep in mind, Articuno's been bad since day 1. Like, even in Gen 1, it was bad. Back when the Dex was 150. Zapdos has been good since day 1. Moltres had some success in Gen 3 and 4. Articuno's been trash since then. The fact that it won a major recently is just fucking funny to me. And that would be it. Until I found out recently that also Jumpluff won a major as well, which is really fucking
cool.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
So, I won't go too into detail about it because I don't know the moves or anything. I'll just let you know, Jumpluff is, like, actually bad. Like, Articuno, you can make work maybe. Jumpluff, there is no excuse. It really is just trash. It's just a worse, what is it called? The evolved form of Cottony. Whimsicott, yeah, thank you. It's just a worse Whimsicott, honestly. And Whimsicott, I believe, isn't in Gen 9. So they had to make do with what they did. And it winning a major is just the funniest fucking thing because the stats on this thing is worse than some second stage Pokemon.
Yeah.
And yet it won a major. I don't know. I think it's very funny that Gen 9 is considered like the most power creep we've had ever, to a point where Gen 9 RU looks like Gen 7 OU. Or Gen 6 OU, excuse me. Gen 6 OU back when Greninja and Aegislash were running around. And yet, like, we have Pokemon that are just absolute dumpster fires winning majors, and that's very fucking funny.
I, for one, love it.
Uh-oh. Police are coming.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That's because of the earthquake.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
I hereby dub
Deadass, I thought that was
Generation 9
me.
the generation of Ohio team building.
Show title.
Yeah.
All
Gen
right.
9, Ohio team's gone wild.
Speaking of show titles, I wanted to bring out too that Despacito Play Country Roads was also another show title idea.
Oh yeah, no, that's going in the list.
Where'd that come from?
You don't want to know.
Where'd that come from?
You'll find out when you watch the show later.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
because we're
long
trying to
story
move this
short,
along.
My echo is being a
on
twat,
CA.
not saying stop the alarm.
Oh my
So,
god, my
yeah.
sides.
But yeah, we're trying to move the show along because we got a lot of information to cover when it comes to the Yu-Gi-Oh part.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I want to say something really quick because there was one more thing I wanted to bring up. It's not Pokemon, but I will be very quick about it. I won't give many examples because if I do, we will be here for longer.
Okay.
But I'm getting kind of annoyed of companies, video game companies specifically, not listening to their customers and then complaining when said customers don't, play their game. Like, for example, Overwatch, where they're complaining that no one was buying their game, like their in-game stuff, and then they were saying because they want PvE, and then they didn't make PvE and shut it down, and now it's gone, and now their player base is even worse. So that's just an example, but yeah, I think it's really stupid that that's a thing that has been happening.
Oh, we
And
all
also
agree with that.
Pokemon Unite. Yeah, Pokemon Unite does it too. For example, they put draft into ranked, and you can only get it if you're 1400 MMR. All 10 players in that game.
Yep.
And that's Masters.
Yeah, no.
The problem is, to get from 1200, where you start, to 1400, takes you at least 3 or 5 hours.
Of course.
And that's if you grind it. So yeah, it's kind of a pet peeve, but I just wanted to say that real quick before we moved on, so we didn't have to take too much time with it.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That's why they hate Palmount.
of course it is.
There's
So,
another can of worms.
so the next topic on the list is actually Vanguard, and for the first time in a long time, I actually have news about this one.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
so
miracle.
I've mentioned before that there's the Bushiroad Spring Fest that's going on right now. It just recently started last month, and it's playing in now, which is the major tournament where Shadowverse Evolve, Vanguard, and Weiss Schwarz are all getting separate tournaments. In fact, Vanguard has 2 different tournament types in that whole game. One, which is the standard type, where you play the most recent variants of decks, and the tri-regulation, where you have 3-player teams, one of each of which plays a deck in a different time zone. To put it real simple, there have been 4 major events that have happened, and out of all 4 of them, the top-cut teams have all been playing mixes of Lyrical Monasterio, Dragon Empire, and Keter Sanctuary. There have been some Brant Gates, there have been some Dark States, but it's mostly those 3 that have been showing any top relevance.
Very nice.
To be specific,
I don't have the deck builds on hand at the moment. I can get you those links later, but I figured you might have some insight on that.
most of them, if you say Keter, it's fucking Luard.
That doesn't surprise me.
Like, if you say Dragon Empire, it's Shiranui. They nerfed Shiranui, and yet it's like, oh, you nerfed me, carrying on with my bullshit.
Yep.
Very much.
Yeah, and Lyrical, I'm not really sure. I don't pay attention to Lyrical that much, but it's either probably going to be Kyrie, or I want to say Chris Rain, but Chris Rain is very Highlander. It basically, bitch don't know what she wants. She want to be Highlander, but you gotta run decent attackers, which you can't do in Highlander. Like, she confused.
Sounds like it.
She's basically a Kashtira player.
Wait, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Does not sound good.
No, it is not.
We saw the new Faded one.
Oh, did you know?
Faded one of Time, Liel Amorta.
Oh.
Oh no.
Grade 3, Twin Drive, Persona Ride. Ignore the Persona Ride. You will not be doing that very much. If she swings, CB1, bind one of your rear guards. Pull a copy to the field.
Oh, it turns it face down and then duplicates it.
Yeah, it basically, she's saying Kage Bunshin no Jutsu.
Yeah. And that means you get it back at the end of the next round. So you double your forces.
Nope, you do not.
What?
But
I'm sorry, did I hear double your foreskin?
Forces.
Okay, thank God.
No.
That was horrible.
No title.
Damn it. Inadvertent.
Here's the second part.
Damn, we're getting plenty of show titles this session.
Double the
It's
double
over
stuff show,
you.
double stuff
Marty.
show titles.
If you
It's
guard
over,
with her,
Yugi. It's over, Yugi. With my skill card, I can double my foreskin. I win.
Wrong card.
Here's-
no.
All right.
Here's
All right.
my-
Let's get back into the game. Let's get back into the Vanguard stuff. We don't have a lot of time.
here's the second part that goes in. If she's put on Guardian Circle, pitch one and put 2 cards from Bind Zone on the bottom of your deck. You pick a Faded one, and it's a perfect guard.
Oh, you guarantee an attack dodge with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get not only a perfect guard, but she has a built-in way to make sure you don't run out of targets.
Gotcha.
Pretty good.
And her divine skill basically overturns. If any of y'all play Buddy Fight, you know what divine skill is. It's flipping overturned.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
Buddy Fight had a lot of weird mechanics.
Yeah.
At
Hell,
the
we're doing
end-
they're funny. They're all funny
Yeah.
though.
At the end of the turn she attacked, your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. Rewrite her from your drop. If you did this, he loses a drive though.
Oh, you get a second attack, but you do 1 less point of damage.
No, you get 2 attacks.
That's what I said. Second attack.
No, you get 1 more rear.
Oh.
You forgot her first effect?
Right.
So this at minimum is always a 4 attack deck. Late into the game, you go from 4 to 5. Well, 4 to 6 if you do it right. Basically, you call someone that would call something else, and you pull a Dr. Doom, chip damage to victory. But here's the thing. This deck burns counter blast fast. Hence why this deck needed 2 different unflippers just to make her work. And that second effect is just to say, hey, Blangdemeyer, fuck you. That's literally what. Because now I'm going to go to Faded 1 of 0, Blangdemeyer. If he swings, you bind up to 4 cards from your soul face down, and you draw a card. If you bound 4 cards, bind 2 of your opponent's rear guards, and Blangdemeyer gets +5 for every 2 face down cards in your bind zone.
Gotcha.
Divine skill.
Nutty.
At the start of when your opponent would decide to guard him, if he has 8 or more, he gets a crit. You tell your opponent no PGs. You can't call or play PGs. And your opponent's Vanguard's abilities are negated.
Ow.
This is delete.
Jeez.
This is literally delete.
It might as well be.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be like one massive game ending. Here's the problem. Because they have a grade 1 that literally says you cannot re-ride. You cannot re-ride or stride. That's for premium though. But the whole re-ride thing is the only way to stop him.
Gotcha. Okay, so was that all the news, or?
One more. And the one that I am very hype about. The son of a bitch himself, Vagra Dragres. If he swings, everybody loses their front row, and he gets 10k. Afterwards, restand him, he loses a drive. Divine skill. After he swings, your opponent's, if you're at grade 3, your opponent's damage is 4 or more, and he swung twice, he gets to swing again with his drive checks back.
Oh.
So he swings 3 times.
Ouch.
That's insane.
And there's stuff to make him go up to 5 attacks.
Jesus.
This is literally multi-attack
Crazy.
violence. This is multi-attack violence, the deck.
You remember that
you
day?
that's like jumping. I mean, you can get jumped.
Yeah,
That thing.
Y'all remember the days? Y'all remember the days when Ashura Priest was meta relevant? Neither do I.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably not.
Yeah.
this is literally just telling your opponent, hey, congratulations. Prepare to get jumped.
Ugh.
Because that's literally the deck.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Because you have a grade 3 that just says I cannot die by card effect.
Sworn, my beloved.
Ugh.
And a grade 2 that just says, hey, call me back from graveyard if I die during your turn. You see how the multi-attack starts?
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah. This just sounds like 6 Samurais with extra steps.
It does.
Yeah, it's 6, he's literally Samurai Dragon that will jump you.
Nice.
And yeah. Also, because I already have a deck planned for him. Because screw Eugene after this is what I'm probably going to be playing in May. Because there's a grade 2 girl that literally just says, if I die, I come back.
Gotcha.
But this deck eats. But the one thing about this deck, it eats Counterblast. Everything is always Counterblast 1. In order for you to have your multi-attack, you need at least 2 Counterblasts available every turn.
Yeesh, that's expensive.
One for the Drag Ritter girl, and another for Vagra himself. And this is a bit piece reliant, but you can get to those pieces very quickly.
I'm sure you can. So was that everything?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, real quick, I'm going to blaze through the Weiss Schwarz stuff because just like with Vanguard, Weiss Schwarz had a few tournaments. So first off, the World Championship tournament took place at the start of last month. Third place was playing the Avatar: The Last Airbender Red-Green Top Azula focus build. Second place was playing Reincarnated as Slime, specifically that standby urine build that everyone's been kind of hating on. And first place was unfortunately Hololive, specifically the Caligura variant. And right after that
What do you mean,
started...
unfortunately?
Because I'm not a big fan of Hololive.
Sure.
Let's go, YouTubers for the win.
Funny. Funny. But there were 4 tournaments since then, one in Ontario, California, one in London, the UK, one in Houston, Texas, and one in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And across pretty much all of them, we saw a few different matchups and a few different top cuts. Most of the top cuts ranged between quintessential quintuplets, the green-blue variant of Chainsaw Man, the Seven Deadly Sins Hendrickson variant, and Hololive and Avatar obviously had some play as well. But what interested me the most was that we saw immediate results from Spy X Family. Specifically the blue variant, which is based on Lloyd. And I gotta say, I am actually impressed that this deck did as well as it did to make top cuts almost immediately as soon as it came out.
I'm not that surprised considering I had the deck from day one, and I immediately saw how busted Lloyd's cards were compared to the other two.
Got that right. Now, as far as new products concerned, we have officially gotten the release of Chainsaw Man, obviously, and the first build that it has being the green-blue focus variant, which I don't recall which one that is pretty much everywhere in tournament top cuts. And we also officially got the release of Lycoris Recoil as a series, so I haven't seen too much about it yet, but remains to be seen. We also have some new product that was announced coming soon. They have announced they're going to be reprinting the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind set on May 24th, but instead of having gold rare text, everything will have silver rare text.
Man, I kind of want the gold one, so because it's Golden Wind. It's in the fucking name.
Yeah, well, guess we'll just have to live.
I guess they didn't want to pull a Yu-Gi-Oh and just color code everything in gold and make it look weird.
Oh, fucking scalpers, man.
Hello.
Oh well.
Or they might make them green and blue and purple like they do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Who knows?
Yeah, but the only reasonable time that gold is acceptable is an Eldelich.
Oh, ha ha.
I will admit, I really like the purple text, even if it is limited to some sets.
It really depends.
Weiss Schwarz, why do you hate me? Just give me Bushiroad, please. I know it's there.
Give me a Baki deck, Weiss Schwarz.
Well, actually, it has been announced as June 14th, obviously.
Listen,
But,
if they made either if they made free animes into a deck, I would really be invested in the game more than I already am, to be honest. Berserk, Fist of the North Star, and Baki. Baki solely because of all the absurd, finisher-based cards you can make from that.
They might do
when I pull up
Baki
to the
recent.
local with the apple fritter.
But what
when
were
I
you
pull
going
up
to say,
to the local with the apple fritter deck.
Nah, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Since Yu-Gi-Oh! is also
fair enough.
Could you
A
imagine?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Weiss Schwarz deck would be funny.
Maybe.
Yeah, it would be good.
Yeah.
You just get some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards.
Someone at Konami would need that good
I summoned Yummy Yugi in attack mode.
I
Someone
actually heard,
I think,
I actually heard they've
I
already
think
put
the CEO of
Vanguard.
Konami would need the goods. Suckerfade
What?
were to.
What is it?
I was waiting for Ori to finish.
I was about to say. I think the currently head of Konami would need that good payment, if you know what I mean.
Oh
if they would, in order to.
Ah,
I'm not just talking about in terms of money.
But I don't have enough money for this pizza. Oh, we can work a way out.
Why you ordered a pizza?
I forgot about that one. But what I was
Take
gonna
a
say,
second pizza.
what I was gonna say was apparently there's also rumors that they're getting ready to import some Generation 1 Cardfight Vanguard cards into Shadowverse Evolve.
Yeah, that
Oh,
that
that's
was a
interesting.
thing. That's a thing.
Okay, so that is a thing.
Yeah, Overlord is going to be Dragoncraft. Duh.
Obviously.
Royal is going to be Swordcraft. Duh. Shadow is going to be Abysscraft. And here's the funny thing. Aquaforce is going to be Forestcraft.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool.
unexpected, but not unlike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oracle
Well-
Think Tank is going to be Havencraft. Makes sense.
I guess.
And Pale Moon is, I forgot what Pale Moon is going to be.
Well done.
Well, don't worry about it. We can look into that later because I really got to get back on track with this. We're already running behind.
All right.
They've also confirmed that we're getting Shakugan no Shana released in America on July 19th. There's going to be a HoloLive Premium booster on August 2nd. Love Live is getting another pack. School Idol Festival 10th Anniversary Premium booster on August 2nd as well. They've also confirmed a new series called Ayakashi Triangle, booster pack and trial deck on August 16th. And another HoloLive Production Summer Collection Premium booster is going to be coming out on August 30th.
Okay.
Interesting. Ayakashi Triangle sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Well, Rom happened to be on very quick response and already pulled up the link for it.
Oh no, that one. Oh no.
And now we can finally deep dive into the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Alrighty.
Now, we got a few
Alright.
articles that we got to go through real quick.
Snake Eyes is still dominating everything.
Obviously, that's a given.
Mm-hmm.
They've announced a few interesting products coming in the near future. They have this thing called the Early Days Collection, which will be importing old Game Boy Advance titles to the Switch and Steam.
Not terrible. Shockingly.
Finally, we get to play Monday Forbidden Memories.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They've also announced the YGO Solid Vision Experiment, which is a virtual reality Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Oh, nice.
That's
Even though we've already had an unofficial Yu-Gi-Oh VR game for like ages now.
It's
Konami
gonna
doesn't
be
recognize
brain.
anything unofficial.
We had Yu-Gi-Oh VR for like ages. It was a fan-based project,
Obviously.
Yeah.
but people are like, oh, it's going to have Konami's branding on it, so it's going to be a lot better. And it's like, bruh,
Have
do
seen
you
Master
know
Duel?
do you know how Konami is with their games? Like, yeah, I'm hyped for, yeah, I am. It is a hype moment, but at the same time, remember what they did with Master Duel.
Yeah.
And just what is holding that game back and why so many have quit or just left or never even installed it from what they've been hearing or seeing.
Like, it's too hard to get cards, right?
Well, it's hard to get gems for packs unless you like really grind per se, and the format is shit because they smoked a lot of crack when making that ban list. Max C is legal, so that's already bad news. And then they want to hit
Wow, my ears.
and then they want to
I'm
like
sorry.
do the dumbest things when it comes to ban list season that make no sense but only end up making the format worse. Oh yeah, let's hit this other Flaunderies card even though they haven't been doing anything. Oh, branded stuff. Surely their meta looks at Labyrinth and Snake Eye.
What is it, Fluwonderies or fucking Greninja?
Okay, hang on. Lone, were you wanting to say something?
I cut out. Discord was being borked with me, so I missed a little bit.
Oh, it's fine. We were just talking about
Discord, what can I say?
Yeah, we were just talking about the VR game and stuff. On the subject of Master Duel, actually, no, we'll come back to that. A couple other things to go over first.
Yeah.
Ori has apparently been working hard at making his own custom format, Gaga Gacha format.
Oh yes.
Well, it's not. It's not his creation per se.
No,
but...
it's not mine. It's creation of someone else in my server, FA. But it's just absolute insanity.
Basically, in summary, a funny Italian man who did not think that this would go far. It was like, dude, I was like sleep deprived or something and came up with this. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting anyone to be interested in this bullshit.
To be 100% fair, it's always the stupidest fucking stuff you come up with at like 2 a.m. that works better than stuff you'll actually put effort into.
Been there.
Hey, bonus points people sleep deprived too. Bonus points because they know your might go somewhere. When in that state.
All right. The OCG also released a new Perfect Rulebook 2024, which, as we all know, whenever they release a new Perfect Rulebook, they always errata a certain card to make it appealing for the sake of the rulebook, which leads us into the OCG's ban list, which 99% of the changes they made were so minimal, they're not even worth paying attention to, except for one, which is where they errated Summon Sorceress and brought her back to 3.
Yeah, they brought back
That was a big
Slut
mistake.
and gave her one hell of an errata that makes her balanced. So
it doesn't fix her. It just makes the same thing.
Even with the errata.
Well,
that's the joke.
the monster you summon has its effects negated, but you're also type locked. Whereas original summon Sorceress was just, the monster I summoned wasn't negated, and I could use. And you could still use any card because, funny loops and FTKs. Let's go, buddy. Let's go Trick style.
Yeah, but I already seen some absurd shit using her already. So, I don't know. I don't think the errata, did much.
Listen,
honestly.
Listen, people are gonna hype up some shit. They're hyping up the gimmick puppet stuff being meta because, there's a glass cannon FTK that you can do. And then this is just like, okay, what is Summon Sorceress gonna really do in the TCG with the errata?
You give people enough time and effort, they'll figure something out. And,
what is she gonna do that's gonna get her back on the meta scene and possibly banned again in a funny royal decree case?
I can give you an example.
I mean, not royal decree, imperial order. Yeah, that's the card.
I can give you an example of that. If they play her in a fairy deck, they can special summon Ursula Christia out of the deck and bounce her into the back row, then summon her back during the opponent's turn using a Snake Eye tech.
Though I feel like before we even get the errata, because of all the shit that Snake Eye can do, despite being an interesting meta deck for once, they're no doubt going to be getting hit. Let's be real here.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely. And we're all looking forward to that.
It's like
Stevie Wonder could see that.
It's like I have my gripes with Runic. Like I could see Hugin getting banned because she's a slut, but I know Snake Eye is top priority.
True, yeah.
Damn.
Well, I think
it's like
getting new cards too. So no worries, they're gonna ban them.
It's like, don't get me wrong, I fucking hate Fountain. I think out of all the field spells we could have gotten, that's just absurd. But even I know that the fucking instant fusion bitch that can search Fountain and even protect Fountain is on the chopping block here.
Well, then let's all agree to disagree on this point. We will be keeping an eye on Summon Slut.
To be fair, if you are stupid enough, no offense to anyone, if you are stupid enough, anything can be busted.
If you're a table 500 player on Farfa series, you will find something.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, for example, Nanashi, I'm not calling you stupid when I say this, but literally half of your uploads are you making decks out of monsters that everyone considers trash, and they actually work.
Well, yeah. A little bit of effort goes a long way. And speaking of
a little bit of effort, a lot of glue.
Yeah. And speaking of which, looping back to the Master Duel part, they have released information about an AI project that they're getting ready to introduce to Master Duel.
Oh, what is it about?
We're gonna do I now.
Actual AI opponents
If
is what they're
only.
basically aiming for.
I would
I believe
want
that's
to.
called story mode. The fuck?
Yeah, not quite, but it's funny you mention that because that's the next topic on the list, going through the Master Duel information. Real quick, they have announced that they're giving solo modes to Eldritch and X-Saber.
Okay,
Yeah,
X-Saber.
X-Saber one is coming out.
Well, thank you for now reminding me that one of my favorite dual terminal archetypes didn't get anything in Terminal World, or was the Earth representative. X-Saber's here. Though then again, Konami's in a tight spot here, because a lot of their cards are either soft once per turns or non-hard once per turns. They're afraid of Gotems getting a... No, they're afraid of either making a retrain of Gotems that's better at hand looping than the OG, or fault troll shenanigans, because they were like, oh yeah, what could possibly go wrong from having 2 fault trolls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you pop up.
I'm gonna say this. To properly support X-Sabers, you need 10 plus cards to make it more thematic with the support with X-Sabers. Okay?
Yeah. But
Raven, I'm gonna say this. Raven, I'm gonna say this as a Toon player. Welcome to the club.
Real talk.
I'm about to say, your stuff in Toon Chaos wasn't awful.
Oh no, it was.
You don't like summoning Toon Buster Blader
Toon Chaos.
or Toon Cyber Dragon?
Toon
Toon
Buster
Kaiju.
Blader each duel.
Okay, now I'm like really frustrated because, you know, we brought that up. Whenever Toons get support, they always deviate back to good old DM era. Back in 2015, 2014, they were experimenting, like with 2 cards, like, Toon Cyber Dragon, good for making Infinity in the deck with Instant Fusion. Oh, Toon Ancient Gear Golem, that could be fun. But then they were like, oh, let's make Toon Barrel Dragon and Toon Buster Blader because DM nostalgia.
And they're trash, unfortunately.
No, what Toons
Well, not
really
Buster.
need, I would say, give Toons like maybe some way of using extra deck techniques.
The funniest shit about Toon Cyber Dragon, however, is that literal back around that time, because we didn't have like a bunch of other support, and you know, summoning Infinity first turn was the best first turn play for us. People deadass did play Toon Cyber Dragon because, you know, free level 5 that you could special summon. You can search it with Cyber Repair Plant, or even if you wanted to get technical, Toon Table of Contents to thin out your deck. And it was also a side draw, technically, so you could use it for any of the fusions.
Yeah.
Via more so the Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon.
I'm gonna say the UBL support, the past UBL support is nuts.
One buff I want to see to Toons. It's gonna sound really goofy. I want to see Ojama King and Ojama Knight mated to Toons.
Okay, now
Yes,
that
their main weakness is like effects. I'm saying this as someone who plays Toons, like I've not far too well. But like they also have a problem with not having too much damage, and they can't do anything even if you make sure that they're protected from effects. So why not give them a monster that makes it so it's harder for the enemy to actually attack them?
Makes
fair
sense.
enough.
you
But,
know now that well,
it's
it'll
fine.
probably be
I was
brought
going
up
to try and
later.
get back on
given
topic. Go ahead.
I was going to point out, given that we are on the Yu-Gi-Oh topic, it will probably be brought up later after we got all the other stuff covered. But you talking about Ojamas being made in the Toons remind me of the Light Duelist set.
Oh,
And how we're still waiting for stuff to be revealed.
We're gonna talk about that later, though.
Basically, Trick Stars and Mizael shit. I have my play set of 107. Probably getting a C107 soon.
Yeah, still waiting on the third reveal for that one. But getting back to the Master Duel stuff real quick. They have had a slew of events recently. The 25th anniversary event, Bonds of the Duelists, where you get a bunch of Magicians of Bonds and Unity themed stuff. The new Duel Pass has started, and the only notable thing is that you can get a mate of Noble Arms Caliburn. the Rookie Returner Mutual Follower campaign, which gave you bonuses for basically using your invite code. The Tryout Duel, which time traveled to 2004, which means you could only use cards and decks from 2004 and before. And then there was the Legend Anthology event, which promoted you to use Harpy Hero and TG decks, and had a prize of a Flame Wingman mate, which honestly I kind of wanted.
Interesting.
And then there was also the Nibiru event.
Oh yeah, that's brand new and was just announced recently. And then the only other event that came up was the Synchro Link event, which, if I recall correctly, the people who won that were still playing those crappy meme decks.
Yep.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I'm not even going to argue that. And they've released a lot of new products as well. Structure Deck Blue Eyes Max, which a lot of people were interested in. Selection Pack Right Into the Future, which brought in support for Diabella Star, Snake Eyes, Cosmic Quasar Dragon, TG Glaive Blaster, and Emperor Charles.
Monkey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Monkey.
There was also Selection Pack Name of Champions, which had Lady Labyrinth, Destiny Hero, DPE, Baron de Fleur, Dingirsu Orchist, and Access Code Talker.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Code Talker got buffed again? Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, Access Code Talker is their quote-unquote ultimate boss monster.
Lovely. All right, then.
And new Secret Pack Burst the Zapping Energy, which, to put it simply, Sprite.
Yeah.
They also had a Selection Pack, Return of the King, which had Scarred Dragon Archfiend, Earthbound Servant Geogracia, Testina, Tokusano Shinkyojin, and Transaction Rollback.
Oh my god. No.
Yep.
And Secret Packs, and one of the most confusing Secret Pack titles I've ever seen, Songstress of Sorrow Song, try saying that 3 times fast, which was just a glorified Super Pack for what was left of Tearlament and Mermail.
Oh dear.
And
It doesn't make sense in terms of the naming.
it really doesn't. And on top of that, there were also 2 ban lists in Master Duel.
None of them good.
The first one was on March 8th, which limited Branded Opening, semi-limited Parallel Exceeds, Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer, and Water Enchantress, and unlimited King of the Swamp and Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo.
Garbage.
And the next ban list goes into effect next week, which has limited Performapal 5 Rainbow Magician, thankfully, has semi-limited Kashtira Unicorn, Super Heavy Samurai Wagon, Kashtira Birth, and Nadir Servant, and unlimited Armageddon Knight and Purely Pretty Memory.
Not good.
I'm unnerved. I'm unnerved when Puries get their stuff back, but I still do want 3 Armageddons in the TCG just so I can play my Demise Ritual deck again.
That would be kind of fun, I'm sure. But now we can finally deep dive into the actual card game. First off, the brand new products that just came out. Phantom Nightmare is officially out.
Oh, interesting. I forgot that architecture system.
We're now and welcome to Tier 0.
Yeah, thanks
Prepare
to
for
that.
Snake to never get hit.
Oh, yeah.
What else is new?
Well, Battles of Legend Chapter 1 Collector Set. Yeah, not much out of that one. And there was also Speed Duel GX, the Midterm Destruction box, which was kind of cool. It's kind of nice to see reprints of some old cards that we don't really use anymore.
I heard there's a controversy with that pack.
Because they've reprinted a lot of the Arcana Force stuff and mostly the World, and because we got the Fiend, if the 3rd slot for the Light Duelist set is not Arcana Force, I'm going to riot with all these hints they're giving us.
We're gonna find out. But
we'll go around and find out more like.
The Tachyon, dude, picking the Tachyon user is so garbage. He's just a nerd Galaxy user.
He really is. He just uses more generic dragons.
He only used generic dragons, and most of them were bullshit, and most of them were shit.
Yeah,
and when he
only got good shit.
When he was using when he wasn't using generic dragons, it was just turn 1. I top decked rank up Magic the 7th one, and fuck you. Which is why I'm saying, like, why didn't we just get Star Seraphs? You know how many people have been asking for that? And you know how much of a completion that needs?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that needs.
They're just gonna add new Roid support.
Yeah.
Like I would
Also,
say,
apparently,
I would say that needs a
Zetsu
new.
user stole the spot for like a GX in terms of cover art.
Yeah, I would.
Because
Not gonna lie, I would have loved to have seen Arcana. I mean, not Sartorius on the cover if we did get like Arcana Force support.
Yeah, Sartorius looking like he's getting ready to drop the biggest shit ever.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Sartorius. Like I don't legit ever seen, because even Konami knows Arcana Force's shit.
Well, then they have the opportunity to fucking fix it up here because they're in the right direction with the they're in the right direction with the Fiend, where it's like, oh, let's just start giving the Arcana Force additional effects alongside the coin flip effect, kind of like what we did with the with that one with with the fucking Battle Trap Arcana Force.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, I have a feeling that it's not going to be Arcana Force.
It probably
My
won't.
bet is just going to be Blue Eyes because EM nostalgia.
Well,
Nah, they wouldn't do that. They're smart enough not to make that mistake. We're all sick of seeing Blue Eyes and Dark Magicians.
then again, Blue Eyes was already in a quote-unquote duelist set, and, you know, as far as light strategies go, we can't have Ancient Fairy Dragon deck because, you know, I feel like that would be more reserved for a core booster set, because then you get more cards to work with instead of the standard 5 or 6 or whatever.
Maybe. You never know.
I would rather have
also,
Grade 1 Yatagarasu back than have a light deck in top 10 again.
And also, let's be real. If they're going to give us an archetypal retrain of Ancient Fairy Dragon or some other boss monster for it, they're no doubt going to go they are no doubt going to go the Stardust route and put that shit on the cover of a core booster.
Yup.
Most likely. I wouldn't put it past Konami.
And like, the only light strategies I see left, well, aside from Star Seraph, because, you know, Zexal's slot's already taken, the bastards, is Arcana Force, or even just pure Ojamas, because the version of Ojamas we got was, you know, VWXYZ, Armed Dragon stuff. Oh, you want to play it pure? Fuck you. The Chaz sucked at deck building, so now you have to suffer.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You suffer summoning one of the most hardest summon, but one of the most busted monsters.
Exactly.
Well,
print us Ojama Lime, or make an Ojama literally a reference to good old Chaz, like some asshole on Twitter already did.
Like Ojama.
Wait, do you have the
Ojama
picture?
Thunder.
Ojama Thunder, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Ojama Thunder.
Yeah, Lone. There was an artist on Twitter who was like, okay, new Ojama support, Ojama Neos, Ojama Chaz.
I know who you're talking about.
All right.
Ojama Neos, my beloved.
First off, Lone, what were you trying to say?
I'm asking Raven if he has the picture of Ojama Chaz.
I wish I had it download. I wish I had it downloaded, but it was the funniest yet cursed shit I've ever seen.
I've seen it.
In the best kind of way.
Yeah.
Probably, depending on your meme taste.
Well, as far as other new products coming in, the only one they've announced with an actual confirmed date is 25th Anniversary 10 Dueling Mirrors, which is going to be a 400-card pack set.
Holy shit.
Holy religion.
It's going to flop.
Probably.
Now.
I mean, they've already announced the majority of what it's going to be based around, which is going to be around POTE, PHHY, CYAC, Dune, AGOL, MAME, AMDE, all of those.
I mean,
basically every card
Although
in the last 3 years.
Although I would still
pretty good sets.
Yeah, I would still want them to reprint Despater.
You know, like, deadass, if you do it right with those sets, there's a lot of cool reprints you can get your hands on, because, you know, short prints, I'm sure, existed with those sets.
Oh,
Though,
no.
and,
Oh,
but that's another thing that people were also worried about this tin. It's like 400 cards. Oh, wow, there are going to be some short prints here. And it's like, that's possible, but it's also like, if this is a 25th anniversary tin to, like, highlight the entire year of the quarter century, then either Konami's going to have quite the shitter on their hands, or they're actually going to do it right for once.
Well, we'll see. This
Konami doing something right for once with their card game. Good one.
Tell me about it.
I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, they've done good things before, but it's a miracle at this point whenever they do something right.
Well, they did announce they're also giving us 50 quarter-century secret rare cards in this pack.
Like you look at the quarter century reprint set, and it's like, okay, Konami's doing something right. They're doing the practices of the OCG and applying it here to the TCG with this set. You can literally get a whole ass playset of Ash Blossom, Nibiru, and other stuff in one booster box if you're lucky enough. Which, funnily enough, I was. I got that shit for my birthday and pulled. Well, I pulled a playset of all of the fucking board breakers and Ash.
Which is pretty bog.
All things considered,
I got 4 Ecclesias as well, and for whatever reason, that whole booster box was like, hey, we heard that Unicorn was cool, so have 7 or 8 of them. Here, have a quarter century rare Unicorn.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, well...
Who doesn't love Nightmare Unicorn?
Exactly. Well, as far as upcoming stuff that we don't have any real confirmation on yet, the next pack set was Infinite Forbidden, which is going to be dropping in the OCG later this month. Which, like I said,
is the Exodia.
Yeah.
Oh, the funny Exodia. Okay, now I'm scared because there's several slots left.
Yeah.
And I'm scared that a joke, and I'm afraid that a joke of mine is going to come true that I made I believe several podcasts ago, because we brought it up. They were like hinting at the name, and we were like, "Oh, it's going to be Exodia support." And I'm just like, "Okay, but what if they gave us Cloudian support, but they made it so it focused around Exodius, the ultimate Forbidden Lord, because of anime?"
Why not?
I would love
it's literally just, here's your Cloudian support, but it's focused around Retrained Fog King and Exodius, the ultimate Forbidden Lord. Have fun. No more Fog counterplays, just Exodia.
This is
Hey.
I believe the reason
that reminds me.
Every day, next week.
After this ends, I gotta show y'all something.
But as far as Infinite Forbidden, though, they have confirmed some cool stuff. The Fiendsmith archetype, which is the thing that supports light fiends and is essentially a Devil May Cry Dante reference.
Well, there's also
support.
There's already got. There was a frickin' buyout of White Dustin because of it.
I want to point out too that it's literally just also Fabled support, which I'm most excited about. Even their search spells, like, oh, you add a light fiend and then you discard one. Oh, so you mean I can add good old Grimro and discard Lori? Fucking cool.
Gotta love it.
But I want to point out something that someone else pointed out via like the design. Lore and design, it is definitely Devil May Cry with devil arms, but the giant thing that the face of the archetype holds on his back, it gives off Gungrave vibes if anyone has ever played that game series before.
Kind of.
Instead of a big gun or a giant coffin, it's just this demonic core that he can just smith devil arms from.
Oh, like
the material.
Yeah, I legit also wouldn't mind them having a Shining Flame wingman that says one of the fusions plus any number of fiends on the field.
That would be interesting.
Okay, now if we're going to get into now if we're going to mimic Devil May Cry lore-wise, we now have to go all in. If they get any more main deck monsters, we need a fucking Virgil and a lady.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Virgil would be a Link.
Or it could be like a Sky Striker
likely, yeah.
situation where the rifle is also a main deck monster.
That's what I'm thinking, honestly. But we can focus on that later. They've also announced new support for Drytron, which I know Ori is excited about.
Oh, you have no idea.
There's also the gimmick puppet support that we're all kind of irritated over.
I was most excited about, but then again, I'm also not playing it FTK style, so I don't know what your all's luck is.
And then the voiceless voice support, which is just one continuous trap.
And that continuous trap is blah.
Yeah, is meh.
No, I wanted to point out something real quick in regards to the gimmick puppets. Don't you just love it when like there's a cool deck out there that you really like, but because of how it's no doubt going to be played, everyone just sees it like that from now on? Like as if people thinking I was playing Floodgate.deck with Altergeist was already bad. Now whenever I play gimmick puppets, because another one of my favorite archetypes, everyone's just going to assume I'm going to be playing FTK of it.
Yeah, I know that feel.
I know Ori's like a culprit of that, because I was getting gimmick puppet replays for a video, and for someone else's video on gimmick puppets, but I asked Ori if he wanted to help me get a replay, and it's like, sorry, I don't want to be FTK'd. And it's like, dude, I'm not playing.
I mostly said that as a joke.
I mean, he went into a game. Bro. He went into a game with me playing Gradius ships, and he was playing BES. He knew he was going to die in single turns.
But it was for the memes. But I had to do it for the memes.
That's fine. But they also did announce, they didn't announce, it was leaked, that we're getting new Ashen support, which we expected, one of which is going to be basically a super polyfusion.
That can also stomp out Snake Eye.
Essentially.
Super polytactics, which is funny to see.
Oh, yeah. They also announced a new item called the Rarity Collection 2, which we haven't gotten a confirmation or anything on as far as a date, but it has been confirmed to have Pearly reprints, multiple Solemn reprints, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, Preparation of Rites, Emergency Teleport, DD Crow, and Soravis as all kinds of different rarities.
Didn't that set also have alt arts for, say, Limiter Removal, Harpy's Feather Duster, and a few others?
Supposedly,
or was that a different one?
Supposedly, but the information's a little inconsistent right now.
Yeah, the golden.
It's Konami. When is that never the case?
Because there were some screenshots I saw from a from the OCG. Yeah, there were some OCG like base screenshots that I saw of the rarity. Of the quarter century rarity collection, and apparently they just reprinted the entire Sidra core.
Of course
people
they
were hyped about that.
Of course they did. Why wouldn't they?
I heard just reprints of various archetypes too.
Listen, we got quarter century OG Cyber Dragon, but in the OCG that's also the treatment for the rest of the core, so there are a lot of Sidra players who are like, okay, if this happens in the TCG, you all know what we must do.
Yeah.
We must make our dragons shinier.
There's also the Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge, which appears to be importing the new Ice Barrier, Gen X, Infernoid, and Ritual Beast support.
Nice.
Now, I think we're all a little bit nervous about the Gen X support because we've seen the one-card loop that it can do.
And once again, it's a glass cannon, which, if you do not have the Ash or Imperm, I mean, yeah, you're screwed, but at the same time, it's like,
It sucks, but it is manageable if you play it right. There's also Duelist Pack, Duelists of Brilliance, which we have gotten confirmation that we're getting Trickstar and Tachyon support, essentially. But the third one is still a mystery at the moment, and as you said earlier, you're hoping that it's going to be Arcana Force, which I kind of hope the same, but I'm also hoping they finally give Gradius Ship support, because it's been seen in 2 different variations of the first series.
Yeah, though I'm really... though, like I said, I'm also really iffy on that because it's like, oh, Gradius ships, they could either go full-on dice roll-based effects because Devlin, or they just focus on Shanato's arc because, you know, filler arc, green-haired Kaiba boy. Anyone remember his name?
Noah.
No?
Noah.
Noah.
And he brought along his art.
The green-haired Kaiba that did a Bible reference, unironically.
Kaiba Season 0, actually.
Oh yeah, he basically was Kaiba Season 0 in a sense.
His design was 1-to-1 Kaiba Season 0.
And the last...
But come on, surely Little Karibo couldn't have been the only person to point it out. My name is Noah, and my deck master is an arc.
Fair enough. And the last thing that I have on the list to talk about is the new core set that they announced, which is Rage of the Abyss and drops in the OCG in late July. So we'll probably see that in late October. Everybody's already thinking it's going to be a water support pack.
I don't like
more
water.
Shark Xyz.
I hope
That,
so.
or we might see Atlantean stuff, unless we're going to finally get the structure deck remake for that.
Good possibility.
Imagine they give Tier Element new support.
Side note,
Okay, but fellas, here's a headcanon in regards to Atlanteans, because you know how lore-wise they're battling the Fire Kings.
Yeah.
And like, Atlanteans have that one support monster that's literally just lean twink in Atlantean gear, and then Fire Kings have the fucking waifu card now. I'm like, okay, they're not duking it out because it's fire and water shenanigans. They're duking it out because they're fighting. They're having a whole ass civil war on what's better, twinks or waifus.
Wait, what?
Both is good.
Both is good.
Yup.
Wait, I don't get it.
That's why Poseidon's screaming at Garunix and on High Tide on Fire King Island, the trap card. Twinks are better, you
I gotta get
KFC
going.
fox.
Alright, andiamo.
Right.
Alright,
Good night,
thanks for
everyone.
sticking around to the very
Bye,
end,
all.
man.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I'm glad we finally managed to get to the very end. I'm not going to lie, I did not think we would make it to the end before he had to leave. I am so glad we made it to the end, but yeah,
That
hopefully
was a long
Snake Eye gets hit on the
podcast.
next ban list is all I can say.
I'm doubtful.
Yeah.
I don't expect anything for the TCG list after we saw the OCG.
Dude, like, Infinite Bidding, is it annoying me how they're not releasing more cards for that set? More than half of the set got revealed.
Hang on, guys.
When you punch numbers...
Hang on. What were you trying to say, Lo?
I know he was confused about like the headcanon, so I had to like explain it.
Oh yeah. I was asking, what did Raven mean by that? Because I was confused.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's a long-standing meme.
Funny cards.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I haven't really had a taste for playing the game for a while now because I just haven't had anything fun to make. The new Rika archetype got some more support as well announced, but it was just a Blink 3 and a main deck 4-star that didn't change too much.
Damn.
But I do plan on making stuff again. Fire Kings is waiting. Dinos is waiting. Gusto is waiting. Sharks are waiting. I've got a lot of stuff waiting. I just kind of need to improve it.
You need the inspiration.
Basically. And then, of course, there's that Watt Sprite build I mentioned earlier. I got to finish an update on Spirits. Problem is, it's hard to get replays for all of these when my work site has basically banned me from bringing my laptop to work anymore.
Which is really fucking stupid.
Or just Raven.
God forbid you don't pay attention to the zero people there.
Yeah.
God, I doubt I could be to blame for that loan. I know I can get very unhinged and probably risk cancellation for some people, but Jesus. I'm not that awful.
Sure.
I'm not that awful. Quotation marks, maybe.
I'm still so like I remember when we were talking about what is it called? Weiss Schwarz? And just imagine a Baki deck. I swear, if no one goes to a major and like a tournament in general, with the Baki deck and they don't have a whole bag full of apple fritters, I will be severely disappointed because that's like part of the culture of the anime at this point.
Yeah, I think I can basically kiss any hopes of seeing a Red versus Blue series goodbye because, you know, Rooster Teeth's shutting down. It means I'm just going to have to make it myself.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this.
Hurt,
Like, no one's
honestly.
gonna take, like, the only people who's gonna take Ruby are the Japanese, because like they know how to make it good. Because no one in the West can.
Well, the thing is, Ruby is an English exclusive. It's never going to Japan, as far as I'm aware.
They did.
No, it's more them dubbing it in Japanese for what they describe as now authenticity. Quote, because the weebs would not stop complaining.
Well, when it comes to the exclusive series, Weiss Schwarz actually keeps them separated. We have exclusive access to 7 Deadly Sins, Cardcaptor Sakura's First Pack, and Adventure Time, and as well as Ruby. Those are exclusively ours.
Wait, we don't have exclusive to Avatar? That makes no sense.
Yeah, that too. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
Over there in Japan, they have exclusive titles all the time. A bunch that I really want to get my hands on. You know, the Pixar series, Star Wars, Godzilla.
Wait, why are those Japan exclusive? Wait, hold on. Shouldn't it be the other way around?
The thing
you
is,
just put my granddaddy's name in your mouth.
It's all because of the price of buying those titles and bringing them to America is extremely expensive. And yes, they've got a free room pack coming over there too, but we don't know if we're getting that one yet.
But
I want to point out. It's funny that something Godzilla themed in Weiss Schwarz is Japanese exclusive, but the opposite can't be true for Yu-Gi-Oh, which also boggles my mind how Kaiju's a Japanese Kaiju's an archetype based around a Japanese property. Giant fuck you monsters is TCG exclusive.
Is it really?
Yeah. The OCG doesn't have. They don't have.
I'm sorry. They're not Godzilla. They're nondescript lizards. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaiju.
Not watches Badger. He knows.
Many people don't know, but yeah, the Kaijus are just TCG exclusive. The only thing the OCG has to work with, as far as Kaiju-based cards are concerned, is Lava Golem. I believe Sphere Mode as well. And then, of course, there is the infamous Volcanic Queen, if anyone remembers that card.
That card is actually pretty decent.
What is that? What is that? I literally have no idea.
Volcanic Queen, it's a volcanic card that references the volcanic user's dead mom, apparently.
Yeah.
But it's a Kaiju-based card that basically burns the controller for 1,000 unless they tribute a monster.
And you can't.
Oh, so Lava Golem extra steps, okay?
Yeah, it's wonky, but in season 4 of GX, it was like, oh, you have to choose to either tribute the representation of your dead mother or your fucking father now. Oh damn!
Yeah, that was.
I think I'll just tribute my mom then.
Dude, you just summoned your mom.
Yeah. Now we gotta make a broke versus woke meme with that in context. Broke tributing your mother, woke summoning your mom.
But yeah,
I want to say a couple of.
Good.
I want to go to bed soon, so I'm gonna say a couple of things before I do so.
That's fine. We're probably going to be closing the show out soon. I think we've all pretty well gotten everything out of our systems.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So first off, the new OTA for Marvel Snap was revealed yesterday. There are some minor changes, except for one big one that is just oof. So there have been a couple of power changes. Meek and Blink have been have their attack lowered by 1. Crossbones and Sabretooth have had their attacks boosted. Angela has been reverted back to having no attack, but after playing a card here, it's 2 power. The big changes are to Thanos and the Time Stone.
Where
in the olden days, Thanos would start out on your deck and shuffle the Infinity Stones into the deck as well. And they had effects like change the location and draw a card, gain 1 energy and draw a card, move things here next turn and draw a card, add 2 1-cost cards to your hand. There were plenty of decks that benefited from having multiple 1-cost cards added into their deck. And thus, Thanos decks become more prominent. The new text for Thanos basically butchers him.
Oh.
Now Thanos starts in your open hand, but shuffles Infinity Stones into your deck, which is pretty devastating for him. But the real big oof moment comes for the poor Time Stone. See, it used to draw a card and reduce its cost by 1 after it changed from giving you an extra energy next turn. Now it gives Thanos specifically -1 cost next turn. Next turn only. So if you don't summon Thanos next turn, it's back to 6 costs.
Oh,
Okay.
I have no idea what any of that means.
Yeah. And secondly, I'm going to tell you the origins of what I've just called the live Femme Jesus reaction. Especially considering Paris Jackson, who plays female Jesus, has had her birthday 3 days ago now. So there was a movie. Yes. So in 2020, a movie called Habit was announced. And amongst those announcements was Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris Jackson, being announced as playing Jesus Christ. And the funny thing is that it caused a large amount of Christians to go up in a massive furor.
That's not exactly surprising.
Calling for Jackson to be fired and the film cancelled. Neither happened, of course, and Jackson only appeared in the movie for like 30 seconds. And yeah, it was still the best actor in the entire movie. Hey-ho. But yeah, then took that look and put it into a live Tucker reaction style meme. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed now. Good night.
Alright, have a good night, man.
Good night.
Yeah, you partner.
Alright, well, I think we've pretty well covered everything on the list. Anything anyone else want to talk about real quick while we got a chance?
It's not really talking about it, but
sure.
on a related note, I now have one color. I now have one of every Yoshi plushie.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
I don't think y'all heard me. I said one of every Yoshi plushie. Every.
Oh no, we heard you.
Oh. Yeah.
Just making sure. The picture I showed y'all in chat. There's more.
Of course there is.
That's it. I'm good. I'm good for the night.
Fair enough. Anyone else?
Did we talk about the AZ Pokemon, or we just skimmed over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We mentioned it. The Pokemon.
We kind of
I
breezed
feel
through
like-
that.
Next article, no.
I feel like
Yeah.
the only thing I can add before the finale is more so what I put in like rant room a few days ago in regards to like next month, whether or not I'll be able to make it or not.
Well, if you can't make it, there will always be other shows, even if we do have to miss one every once in a blue
Yeah.
moon.
Yeah. So basically, to summarize it, on the 1st of May next month, I will be moving into a new temporary place.
Okay.
So that will be something. Hopefully the whole moving and selling process doesn't take like the entire like Friday off for the next podcast. Hopefully we'll get it done before then, but that was just overall a heads up.
Appreciate that. All right. Well, nobody else has anything else. I guess we can call it here.
Yeah.
I just had some remarks with that.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna make a funny joke that
Oh, well. Okay.
Pokemon AZ, the Game Freak, decided to take a lot longer with it because of Power World. It's a lot better, so they brought back Mega Evolutions to counter it. And then I like how recently I saw on like the Power World tweet, they tweeted April Fool's hit of a dating game as a joke.
Of a
I
dating
forgot.
I saw that.
I like to think is that they have a rivalry. Power World and Game Freak is like Power World created a game of Pokemon that actually is working, and then Pokemon Company is like, no, we're gonna counter that with Mega Evolutions.
The funny
Counter don't even know her.
the funny thing about that, by the way, Lone, is that because of the fuck up that was Scarlet and Violet, apparently Nintendo is going to be having quite the conference with Game Freak for their recent fuck ups. That has no doubt been costing them a lot of money in the shitter.
And they lost
which is funny considering it's now the best selling Pokemon game on Switch, which isn't much considering Sword and Shield, but like it's also counting spin-offs.
Yeah. What were you saying?
And it did count 3DS games too.
It's the best selling Pokemon game on Switch, but it's like as soon as you buy and play a bit of that, you just want your money back immediately.
I can't relate. I think the bugs are very fucking funny.
So a double-edged sword.
Please.
I just am not a fan of like what they did with the graphics and the lighting per se. It's just, oh my god, everything just
the Pokemon look clean.
Yeah, but when you like want to try and hunt for shinies, it's so hard to tell.
It is.
Oh no, yeah, that's as a shiny hunter, I do hate that fact that they don't shine. Arceus did it right. Why the hell couldn't they?
They no longer have like the shine effect or even like the sound effect to signify the shinies in the area.
And they just spawn.
No, they could patch that in too.
Oh yeah, they do just spawn really quickly, don't they?
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. The frame rate issues. Like you'll walk in front of a Pokemon, but if you walk away too far, they just despawn from your sight.
So if you see a shiny, you go one step too far.
I can't be the only one who has had that happen to me because I'm trying to. There was a time where I was trying to catch like a male Pokemon, and whenever I did find one, the asshole just despawned whenever I either got too far away or too close to it.
Oh, you reminded me of like when I was shiny hunting for a Slowpoke. I found one and it poofed out of existence. Not ran out. Poofed.
Oh my god.
A cloud. I was so fucking type. I was losing my fucking mind because it's not even the right animation for it running away.
Oh my god.
This spawn.
Listen,
it's so bad. It's
my,
good. I love it.
my first playthrough, I decided to I decided to play as good old lovable character Ass Ketchup. But I also needed a male Pikachu to be my trademark Pokemon Pikutard. But I only ever saw nothing but females, and whenever I did get a male, they either died in one hit or they despawned because of the frame rate.
Well, to be fair, you literally could just throw a Pokeball at it. Those things are so easy to catch.
And,
you didn't have to attack it.
Listen, Ass Ketchup doesn't throw Pokemons blindly.
That is a damn lie. He did that to Caterpie.
That was when he was first starting out, though. He wised out surprisingly quick.
That's Ash
but
Ketchum.
It's not only Caterpie. He's done it to a bunch of them.
That's Ash Ketchum. Don't confuse me for that.
Oh yeah. My apologies. You're right.
Fair. Alright, I think this is
one final note. They're actually giving away free Iron Hands in Scarlet Violet.
Oh, goated. Fucking goated. I need that shit. That shit will do your taxes for you.
Go to Serby's Twitter account. I forgot what was the code. Like, give me a minute to find it.
Go ahead and put that in the chat, and we'll be sure to include it later.
Yeah, I have Scarlet too, so that's so good because I can't get Future Paradox Mons because everyone I know who plays Violet doesn't play anymore.
Hold on, I got the picture. Let me just post it.
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay.
Here.
Oh, I love it.
Discord, load it.
No, just the Iron Bundle. Let them go. Good.
Yeah, here it is. I'm posting it.
Oh, thank you for telling me that. I would have missed out so
There it
badly.
Yeah, Cerebi
I see it.
usually posts links when they give out codes for Pokemon.
Oh, good. It runs out on Monday, so you might want to hurry.
Oh, that's fine. My Switch is literally right in front of me.
Cool.
It's a
Also,
very good
Five
one.
Fists of Fluffs is actually good. It is the dumbest fucking game ever, but it's actually good. It's Power Stone with cats.
Of course. Well, I think that's a good note to end the show on. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
What's this
then.
thing? 3 Iron Hands at the end.
Well, this has been a
Yeah,
fantastic...
we're kosher.
Well, this has been a fantastic show. We did have to rush a little bit, but we managed to get everything taken care of and talked about. So thank you, everybody, for showing up for the show, and thank you, everybody who decided to tune in and watch afterwards. We appreciate each and every one of you. We normally record this show on the first Friday of every month, which means the next show will be on May 3rd, which is 10 days before my birthday. Wonderful.
Golden.
Okay.
In the meantime, I thank you guys for all tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Andiamo.